Farthest Frontier 1.0 is finally in beta testing. You can try it for yourself. Just go to the Steam discussions page. There is a link that shows you how to opt into Farthest Frontier 1.0. The new tech tree is insane, and it's not meant for you to be able to do everything in one gameplay. Now, a lot of what you see in this video is going to change a bit. They are reshaping the tech tree as of now, but it definitely opens up the game into being something quite impressive and fun to play. There are also now policies which help you be able to use some of your overproduction of happiness to increase production values. War is definitely a lot harder than it used to be, with some of the raids being quite severe. The trade is deeper now. It's tweaked. They have nerfed a lot of the stuff that people were using, and it actually encourages you to look at your economy in a different way. Final tier wonders are bringing massive bonuses to your village and giving us in-game objectives. The food system has definitely been reworked. Spoilage is now pretty severe, meaning that you need to get barrels, you need to get a cooper up as fast as you possibly can to optimize and retain your food production. So the game now is fast with a ×5 mode. It's brutal, and it has a lot more strategy. So welcome to the Perfect City 1.0 build. There are 3 chapters. One for the early game, one for the mid game, and one for the late game. This is 22 hours compressed into 4 hours of edited gameplay. All right, so let's talk about the perfect city and the perfect design. Check out the description for a tile-by-tile build of what I'm about to show you. So what you want to start off with is a 12 down by 20 length area on a hillside. This is the only part that needs to be high. You can actually find a much easier map than what I'm doing here, but I like this map so much. We have infinite coal here and infinite iron. The seed is also in the description. And you're going to have different materials than what you see here. Every map generates its own materials, but keeps geography. So just keep restarting the map until you get what you want. There's going to be wolves and boars up here. Kill each of the wolf dens with 2 hunters. So at the start of the game, do 2 hunters, 2 foragers for your food. Kill all the wolves, kill all the boars. And then you can just do what you need to do. I did have to place my gent down here, and I'm about to move him. I then quickly got up a marketplace. You want to get your saw pit up, get your marketplace up as fast as possible, get in the trade. We're currently purchasing iron and clay bricks because we are going to get a forester up as soon as possible. That's what I'm doing with my tech tree. So my very first tech point went into natural philosophy to give us a 20% base knowledge generation. And then further points went into 40% tree regrowth rate. This is amazing. 1 point into cast iron axe blades to give us a 10% felling speed. And then right into forestry. And now we're going to go up into forging. And we're going to go all the way up into forging. And then we're going to go into getting the blast furnace and smithing. We want to be able to make tools as fast as possible to keep that efficiency. But primarily right now, getting the work camp is probably one of the most important things for us. And, you know, we're fighting. This is one of the harder difficulties. There's a lot of angry people here. So unfortunately, we do not have what we need for clay bricks. But let's talk about the design here. So what you want to do, like I said, is start with your 12 by 20. And it's really important you don't screw up. That's why I'm starting in the year 6, because I screwed up. So you can see here, I can use the crop field tool just to make sure I did everything right. We have a perfect 12 by 20. I've also aligned the roads by counting them. Now this is the easy part. You're gonna see these black tiles on the diagram. Those are walls. So we're gonna use these road pieces to indicate where the walls are so I can terraform this very easily. And I know exactly where I can place all my buildings. So 8 tiles from here is the next wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the next wall piece, and that is in every single direction equally. So we're just going to start getting the basic walls here. And we might have to amend the design because we have the wall going straight through here. I might just like kind of indent it, which is going to throw things off, but that's just what you have to do sometimes. And 8 right here. Okay. Now keep in mind, we are going to be deleting this. But this will help us visualize what we're trying to achieve. And remember, you can hold shift. By holding shift, it only allows you to place straight lines. Very useful. This is also a good way to get stone. When building bases like this, though, you take a lot of pain. On Vanquisher, it's pretty bad. I've already been raided twice. And the raids are really mild. I stop at about 50 population to make sure that things don't get too crazy. Now, there's going to be an inner area for more towers and then another wall piece. So this is the easy part. You're just going 2 tiles out and tracing. So you can see that we are just tracing the wall pieces here. There we go. Ring around the rosy. Perfect. All right, and from there, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. This inner area is where we're going to place our markets. So the main setup here is you have an area of 5 tiles. This was where temples, parks, commerce buildings, storage, all the storage, everything good is held in the most defended point of the base. This is where we need to bump the marketplace back up to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So have at least 4 tiles in between. There we are. And doing this right is going to save you in a lot of pain. I should have counted. And I would very much advise that you count twice. Impatience often leads you to do very dumb things. Or at least me. Alright, here we go. And we have our roads all lined up here. Now this is where the roads are on the diagram. You can see that perfectly. Alright. So now that we have this all set up, we know exactly where everything is going. And this is going to make it very easy for us. So we do want to have this right. So this house is going to go right up here. And let's count all of this one more time for ourselves. Now remember, the farming tool is very useful for this because it can stretch way beyond where it needs to. So go into the Excel doc and just trace out the roads. Make sure everything is right. Okay. We know it's perfect. So 6, this is 1 barracks, another barracks, and the town center in the middle. And come on, bricks. We still have not found someone with bricks yet. It always works out that way. We did find someone who wants to buy our boards. We're going to sell all of that. We have enough money for the bricks and to upgrade. So that's beautiful right there. And the terraforming portion of this is relatively easy. This should only take you about a half hour. Especially if you have enough laborers, which we do. We have 17 folk. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. We're going to just pull down 1 tile at a time and go all the way in until we hit right here. Okay? So just going to do this. We're going to do it one tile at a time. Once they finish, you do another. This is why it's going to take just a tiny bit of time. You'll want to start from the lowest point first just to make it easier on yourself. And you can get a lot of it going. It might actually be easier to do 1 side at a time, simply because you can just, go across and then you can go this way. Yeah, I'm probably just going to do 1 side at a time. This shouldn't take too long. I'm not going to show you all this. This is really straightforward stuff. I have plenty of videos on terraforming if you want to check out my YouTube channel. But this is what you'll want to do. You'll terraform all of it in, and then you're going to have the most defensive point in the game. You're going to have a plus 18 on all your shots. And over here, we're going to have other towers, and they're going to get pretty darn close. We do need to start moving these houses into place. Now, the first house is 1 tile off the corner of the wall. And the point of all of these is that every place in the base has a tower that can shoot it, and the towers will lead the units into the center. It's pretty beautiful. And it's actually okay if it's not like exactly perfect. It just needs to be good. It needs to just be decent. The main kicker really is that this is the highest point in the base, right? So now we're going to start pulling this down a little bit. And we do want to make sure that this road is correct. So this should go down the center just like that. We have roads going down all the centers here. Now, one thing you really want to look at is where you're going to do certain productions. So I chose to build down here because this has decent farmland. Maybe not the best in the game. Some of the better farmland's over there. Primarily, though, I wanted to align it with some of the resources that I'm noticing that I have. So yeah, this whole area down here is going to be primo farmland. It's not like terrific, but a lot of it's really good. And primarily, I wanted to align it so that my industrial area had deep core mining. So we have sand, iron, coal, everything we need. I believe we even have a little bit of clay right here, which we were going to use to the detriment of everyone that lives here. But that's okay, because we really need it. And we're going to build a cemetery because people have been dying from all of the animals and the cold. And I mean, I am a terrible man. I make them work hard. I want a cool base. That's all I care about. And, things happen. All right. We are going to terraform this to be the top point, like I talked about. So let's get all this up. I think we're going to get a few more houses. And I think we need to get the first farm up. We know exactly where the farm is going to be based off all of this. This is why it's important to get this right. So in the design, we did this right, which we did. House goes here. There's a middle tile gap in between the houses. I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a middle tile gap for gardens and decorations. So let's get these right. And then a 2-tile gap for wells, food storage, anything else you can think of. There we go. All right, they have the clay bricks we need. So we're going to get our forester up, and that's going to be huge for us because wood does become quite an issue. Our forester is up here. Best fertility that we can find, 61%, pretty good. And we need 30 bricks. So we probably want to upgrade the market as well, which requires 60 bricks. Unfortunately, we don't have that much money. And I'm going to focus on getting the trees growing. We're going to buy 31. This is going to be pretty big for us. And we need... Yep, that's it. Okay, upgrade. Beautiful. Okay, let's move this over here. I am going to plant a tree, and this is going to signify the area that we're going to be using for gardens. We're then going to have a tower right here, a wall piece, and then a road, and then an area for fencing around the whole thing. Optional fencing. You won't need it eventually, but I thought it was smart to have. So 1 tile out is going to be the farmland. So right there, we got it. That's what I love about having a build. So we're going to do a quick 12x6 right here and start getting some farming going. I need to make sure these people are fed. There's quite a bit of food around here, but there's a lot of death around here too. And we're getting close. And I think to make this easier on ourselves, we're just going to terraform this sector now. And if we ever feel like it, when we have more people, we can make it better. And we are a little bit out of wood. We're going to pull back on plank production to 2 people. Wood should no longer be a problem. I'm going to put 4 people up here. And no stone. A 2-to-1 plant to cut ratio. We'll just leave them up there. Now, ideally, you want maples, which we have here. So this is actually a fantastic location. We have enough firewood. I'm going to come back. We can have 48 people. We're actually really good. I would say it's wise to have this at least a little bit above everything, though. So we might do a little bit of polling here. You do kind of want this area to kind of gradually go down. But we'll terraform things as we go. There's actually things we can do where we can place the buildings down and then terraform it up. It'll be crazy funny. But we don't have to worry about all this yet. We just need to get this good enough. Good enough is awesome. We're going to get 1 tower up as soon as possible, of course. All right, and let's get this up to ×5. Oh, these guys are actually a little beefy. They're a little beefy. We'll probably want to take our 2 hunters. The boars are really doing a number on us over here. We should probably get a tower over there helping out. And this is why you need defensive perimeters. But we're going to come in with our gents, and we're going to take care of this. All right, there we go. Let's do this. Everybody just beat the shit out of him. All right. He got the message. Very good. Everybody back to work. Okay, and we have a lot of pelts, so that's probably going to be our primary trade right now. We won the raid for now. We have a minor infection. One thing that kind of sucks about the plains is you have to get kind of lucky. Find herbs, so we'll probably have to purchase it. That means we are going to have to focus on an economy of sorts. Okay, look at that. We got some good stuff going on here. We're getting real close. We're lowering it down. I mean, we've got the... It's there. It's there. Once this gets done over here, the hunters are bringing in just enough food. Oh, nice. Another deep stone deposit right off. And that deep stone deposit's right off the industrial area. We're going to be able to put stone on everything. Oh, wow. We do have herbs. All right. We actually really need to get this over here. It's not a lot of herbs, but it's enough to keep people from dying. Very good. Infinite clay, 2 stones, coal and iron all in this one area. So we're going to fast forward a couple of hours now. 1 hour or so getting the terraforming done. And welcome back. So we did a bit more terraforming than I had actually originally planned on. I wanted to get all of this done. I know people hate watching it, so I did spend about, I'm on year 31. I was watching some TV while I did this, but I probably could have done it faster. I did a lazy man method, but it works. Now I want to talk about this strategy. We're on ×1 mode. We're going to slow down. So one of the best ways to do any large terraforming project is to stop at about 48 people. If you keep yourself under 50 folk, you usually will only see a raid of 4 to 5 individuals, with the potential for a large raid of, I think, 10 at max. And I only had one such raid in the first 30 years. Now, by keeping the tier of my HQ down, and by keeping my population suppressed, I weaken basically the entire raid system, even on the hardest difficulty. Now, it would have been nicer to have hundreds of people to do this terraforming, and realistically, all you need to get right is this top part. So the only way up into this top part right now, and I have tested it, is through these ramp systems, and this is to channel the enemies into the kill zones and make it so that they don't sit on the edges and break things.
Will do.
But yeah, you can easily just test this really quick just by going through here, putting someone in the corner, and then saying, you know, click down here, and they will go the shortest path. So just test each corner that way, and I already have done that. So we've done it. The terraforming is complete. I even did all the terraforming that will need to be done in this area over here, which is why it took so long. So the total terraforming for this took me probably about 4 or 5 hours. If you get the right hill, though, you could probably do it in 30. And honestly, if you get more people, you can do this probably in 1 hour versus 4. However, for myself, I wanted to get the canvas ready for this so that we can just focus on the game mechanics and the design now for the rest of this video. So we've done it, and we are there. Another thing I will suggest to you is to make sure that you do get your forester up. So what I've been doing is collecting stone, collecting logs, selling wood planks and pelts, because I'm not making boots or anything. I had a lot of people die from disease, and building out this monument. Wolves, bears, just casual strangers walking by and deciding to murder people. Now, another good thing about keeping your population at this size, I do 1 6x12. We have 2 hunters and we have 2 foragers. This is providing massive stores of food, which allow me to bring in good immigration waves. So I've suppressed the difficulty of the raids, and I'm bringing in people as they are dying at a very rapid rate. So this is a very effective method if you're trying to do a build. Now, I could have gone a little bit further and got another 30 years and collected all the stone now. So this is kind of a good, viable strategy for Vanquisher mode and big builds, because when you start expanding, you need to be able to defend the base. Period. If you can't defend the base, you're going to have a huge problem. So you don't want to expand too quickly without being able to expand your defenses. So we have everything that we need now, and we are going to continue with our build, finally. Okay, so I did also upgrade the market square, and so we upgrade your market square, get your forester going. I also did have to spend quite a bit of points, so it would have been smart to have gotten other buildings up, but I was really trying to get as many people as possible terraforming. We did get sustainable farming to reduce the fertility penalty. I got one thing into disease resistance, and we're probably going to go into grain crops as soon as possible. Grain is pretty vital to large populations after my last gameplay. You can't just get away with beans anymore. We maxed out taxation, of course, so that we could get the market focus to upgrade the market square. We did do hygiene to reduce some of the disease spread. This is actually really vital to this strategy. I already mentioned that the first point that you'll put is into base knowledge generation. We did 1 point in spotters just so I could see a little bit. I hate the view distance in the beginning. You don't have to do that one. Now we're gonna go up shoes, production, logistics. This is actually really cool. Firewood, planks, pottery, and linen. Negative 20% work to produce. Then we're going to get 10% production speed at buildings that use heavy tools. And we're going to unlock forging and smithing, so we can make our own tools and heavy tools. Also, we're unlocking mining. So 1 point in stone cutting, 1 point in mining. Now we can get clay and all that jazz. Of course, 2 points here and 2 points in iron axe blades, and then 1 point in forestry. So I purposefully did not do a lot of stuff so that we could do all of this together. Now remember, all of these roads represent the wall system. One thing that's great about getting the forester up is now that we have all these logs, I can actually start getting the main base up. So what we're going to do is move the town center. We have just enough money. And we're going to move it right here, perfectly centered. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, we're going to have 2 barracks on each side right here. Now I can remove this dirt road. And we're actually going to get our defensive areas up. And what's great about this design is it's very modular. I can expand one part at a time and add towers to help pull enemies away from those buildings in combat. Beautiful. So we have everything we need. We're going to start getting up our defenses. So first things first is to get the inner wall. And of course, we want to get up our gates so we can get out. And thankfully, we have all that saved wood. I've also been buying stone at the market. I'm leaving all the other stone so we can mine it later. So those 30 years were well spent. It's going to save us a lot of time so we can focus on some of the better content in this game. Let's get up the gates first. All right. And then we'll get out the outer perimeter wall. Now, what's beautiful about this design, as I said, is that these inner areas have just very good defenses. And they're going to be doing a lot of damage. You're going to get a lot of bang for your buck out of this design. So the first tower, if I place it here, it will be able to shoot the market. We have 3 towers over here, 2 down here, and more towers. But the majority of towers are here. The second most defendable point is here. Now you can see how the towers here can hit every single house in this design. That's going to pull enemies off of them, and it's going to reduce the damage that is done at these points. So, and all the towers up here can shoot down on all the towers here. So as the enemy comes in, they're engaging almost every single defensive building in the design. I came up with this a while back, and I'm perfecting it now for 1.1. This is the culmination of like everything I have learned over the past 2 years about Farthest Frontier. Essentially concentrating all of your defensive buildings into a center rather than spreading them out. Because the way that the enemies hit, they'll focus on one area. So by having all of your defenses centered in a way that they're all working together, you're using every single defensive building every time you are attacked. For the most part, you're using probably like 60 to 70%. I mean, it's pretty cool. So just stick around and watch because we're going to do a lot of great stuff today. So I want to get 2 of my towers up. I want to get a tower up here in this corner, and I want to get a tower down by the market. So the way that this works, you can see I have plus 15 and then plus 18 on this side. So when the enemies are engaged on this wall here, they're going to be getting shot at. And that's a beautiful thing. It really is. Here we go. Get the palisade wall up there. And the other palisade wall up here. We're going to just start getting the walls up now. And we're going to put another tower right here in this corner. So what you'll notice is, what I'm trying to do is make sure that every tower is in range of another tower. These corner towers are going to be upgraded, and we're going to need to get the research point for that. So that's kind of the trick. Upgrade your... honestly, we'll probably upgrade every single tower up here, because we're going to have a rockin' economy, too. So that should help. So we'll have 2 towers, and the center up here fortified. I have 2 barracks with archers. Now, the map is kind of a choose-your-own-adventure. Add things as you need them. Add things as you want them. I might put some barracks, honestly, in the corners over here. And anything I place down here is going to be very well protected. So we need to start moving majority of everything. The storehouses are going to be moved up over here. All of the industry is going to be located over here. We don't have to worry too much about the stockyards being hit during raids. And this whole back area here is definitely just industry. We don't have to worry about housing over here. I made it intentionally that way because of the desirability negatives from industry. Remember to hold shift so that your roads are put down straight. If you hold shift, you can only place straight roads. And we're going to just start getting things in order. All right, let's move this over here. Yeah, we're going to move both of those over there. Trading post is going to be moved over here for now. And so we're going to be able to protect our storage, the trade post. Once I get all this fenced in, it's going to be glorious. All right. We're just going to move everything over here like I talked about. And the wagons, you can place these in the industrial zone too. Beautiful. And we have a good pathway over to our forester here. And these are all maples. This is a beautiful forestry area. We want to crank everything up now that we possibly can. We're hurting just a little bit, but we have a lot of food. So I think things are going to remedy themselves here shortly. And we definitely want to prioritize a lot of the town center stuff. and start focusing on our economy as soon as possible. Now, this is the commerce area, and the commerce area is essentially anything goes. Down here in the corner, we're going to have our temple and theater and all that jazz, so just keep these areas open. And then the rest of these buildings, I think we're just going to place such. And then the 2-tile gap here at the bottom, like where this well is so we can put things like root cellars here. So root cellars are going to be lined up all around this area where the farming is. We're going to move the smokehouse closer to where the wood is stored. And we'll organize some of this stuff a little bit better later. Compost yard's in a good spot. And we'll move that later too. Most likely we'll move the compost yard over here. All right, there we go. So we have everything in order now. Everything is moved, and we just need to focus on getting our defenses up as fast as possible. I'm feeling pretty good about this. But yes, you'll have your storehouses, and you'll have your trading post, and right above it, you'll have plus 18 raining down on this whole freaking area. Well, that's actually what we got. We got plus 14, plus 13. I could lower this more, and we probably will as time goes on. This is pretty darn decent, and we have plus 18 all against this wall. And this wall is going to hold back the majority of enemies. So now we're in the rapid expansion phase. We just need to let them all build everything up. So I'm going to focus on letting them build. We're going to pull everyone out of production, keep all food production going. We definitely need to make sure we are collecting waste so we don't get a disease. And we need to get our academy up and start working on tech points and everything else that matters. Now over here, we're probably going to have to finagle something. I think we could probably fit the deep core mine right here. But we'll find out once we get there. We will certainly want a well over in this area for industry and also for fires. And we'll also want a well over here too for fires. It just really helps or when people are thirsty. And so that we don't forget, I'm also going to get the wall up here. And I would suggest you place a palisade gate. There we go. Beautiful. Getting that well up right now. Boom. Okay. I always love it when the builds start coming together. But this, you can see, is going to be a mighty fortress. Now, these guys down here, you can see they get plus 11, 12, 14 in this area. So every time they're coming up, they're just taking more and more damage. That's what I like about having a centered raised area. It also makes for a very beautiful setup. I also enjoy that all of your workers are well positioned to come in and do work. There's going to be apple orchards and all types of stuff. We might have to destroy this boar because we're going to replace it with cattle. But all in good time. This is going to be a fun ride, so strap in. So one of the first things we want to do is get clay. We have a clay deposit up there, and we have a really big clay deposit right here. We want to just liquidate this clay deposit because it's very close to where our houses are going to be. So let's start gathering as much clay as possible. All right, so we got a catapult raid coming here soon. That is one disadvantage to the years. So it does actually look like they up the difficulty so that you will get hit by caddies. But they're going to not... It's not going to be a big army. It's going to be like maybe 10 folk. We do need to actually get these towers up ASAP. All right. We have a good lookout tower there. Got our trader here. And he's buying herbs. Perfect. Sell all that. We are in the market for quite a bit of things. We're going to probably want to buy some willow so that we can make baskets. How much willow can I buy? Let's see. 159? Seems good to me. Let's make a basket maker. That's going to help us out substantially. Getting baskets is vitally important. You get them however you can. So let's make a basket shop right here. Boom. Okay. We've got it going on. I'm going to auto refill. We lost quite a bit of people to disease. And so we're kind of in rough shape. Anytime you do a build or a big build like this, you're, kind of have some setbacks. But in the long run, you're going to have a design that makes the late game very easy. I shouldn't say easy. I should say awesome. Very awesome. All right, let's sell some more herbs. And we could buy some, but 11 is a really bad price. And right now we're just waiting for an immigration wave or, Jesus to come. I don't know. Whatever comes first. They're pretty pissy right now. They don't have shoes. They don't have a lot of stuff. So We need to get up all of our basic infrastructure now. So that is going to be, for sure, the cobbler, candles, weaving, soap, all that jazz. So the clay is going up next. And then I would probably suggest we get a tanner up, because our people are a little squishy right now. So let's get that tanner up. And most definitely, okay, the raiders are coming. We want to get a barracks up soon too. And we want to get a bunch of houses up so that we can start attracting big waves of folk. We're going to get hit really hard right now. And luckily, we're a bit fortified this time. We definitely need to get someone in that freaking tower. Hopefully, he'll get there in time. And thankfully, we'll get a defensive bonus. So we got battering rams coming in. And those battering rams are definitely going to destroy this tower. Oh, look. Oh, but yes. So this is what I wanted to show you. Look at the damage we're doing from up top. Boom. One tower. They're not going to take this. Even though we're at a massive disadvantage, they're not going to take this. In fact, I should probably put all of these towers up here, to be quite honest, until we get a little bit better, because they're just not very well defended. Okay, so you can see we're doing 3 damage instead of 1. That is the power of elevation right there. This thing is still, it's going to break through pretty easily. So what we're going to do is get everybody to come up and start beating on it once we kill everyone here. So we're doing really good chunks of damage. This is important for when the enemies are armored. And we need to protect this tower at all costs. So the army is 11. It's very small. By the time the next raid comes, we're going to be much bigger. Oh, damn, dude. That thing just pumped through it. I think they upped the amount of damage that the siege units do. Alright, let's get everyone we can beating on this thing. Yeah, I think it might destroy the town center at this rate. Crazy. Now remember, you don't necessarily want to break these things. When it starts running, stop hitting it. So, yeah, we had one. But illness is taking out so many good folk. Alright, let's times 5 this. You see we're whittling it down. Okay.
As you wish.
Don't, yeah, like I said, do not try to destroy it. You will regret it. 8 guys will pop out, and those 8 guys are not running. They will come right in and kill everybody. Okay. Well, this is fine. We're going to get the tower up. And we need definitely some archers or melee units here shortly. And I believe we have another group coming in, but we'll see what happens. Sometimes there's a delay. Overall, though, you can see that the power of this design, imagine if I had 20 towers up, which I'm going to, and how they're going to rip things up. The walls didn't catch anybody, so I think you can start to see the taste of how this build is going to work. All right, let's get the second well up. Boom. That well up over there, that will help out. Oh, here they come. We got a big group coming in, but they're not going to survive. My town center should kill every one of them. They're very weak. These are little minion type guys. There we go. Unfortunately, the town center is hitting the terraforming. It's one reason why you have to have towers for this to work right. Alright, they got my storehouse. Yeah, sometimes having lower terraforming can be better. There is a bit of terraforming clipping. Okay. We just need to get our defenses up. There we go. Alright. We got most of them. I think that was it. We're in good shape. Yay, and 5 people want to join me. Alright, we're back in business. So let's, like I said, that's one of the issues when you're doing all this stuff is it's a little crazy. Let's get everyone back to work. And most importantly, let's get some more housing up. We're going to get a bunch of houses up. That's going to also increase our revenue. Our money per month up here. And we killed 9, they destroyed 4, and they stole 77 smoke meat. Not bad. We will get a little bit of a negative from this clay pit, but that's okay. Got a little bit of a fire going on over here, but I think they'll put it out. We did put that well over here for a reason. They may not be fast enough. Ooh, it's spreading fast. There we go. There we go. Oh, looks, I think they got it. Yeah, a little bit of a fire issue, but all right. So, what we want to do is get into forging, but we need to get our population up. So, there's a lot that needs to be done at this point. We need to start thinking very clearly have one focus goal. So this will be a whole thing that we want to get into: quarries, deep mines. But primarily, I think we need to focus on our food for a second and defenses just a little bit. But in order to get where we need to go, we just need more people at this point. And so we'll need to expand our farm fields out. And if you look at the design, it's going to call for mini fields. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah. So we're going to have another 12 by 24 right here. And it's going to expand all the way over here. So these fields over here are going to kind of suck. And then we got 2 more fields that are going to be over here. And these fields are going to kind of suck too. But not fully. There's definitely a drawback to builds like this. It'd probably be wiser to amend the design and have the fields down here. I'm likely not going to do that though, because we're going to have so much compost that I think we can make the majority of things work. There we go. And now we're going to bring in a lot of money. And I think we want to get a healer's hut up pretty soon, in fact. So let's look at the health. We're losing a lot of people. So we want to get nursing. And we kind of want to look at a lot of this stuff up here. Yeah, that's pretty decent. We want to get the academy up too. So we just need a lot of folk right now. So let's give it a second and see if people can move in. All right, look at that. We're doing great. And I think we're gonna come down here and switch this out to clovers and beans. Now that we're at 100% fertility, we'll need to expand a lot of this. I think what we're going to do are 12 by 12s on either side. Nice. Yeah, can't apply the compost because it's 100%. And I think we're going to put this guy over here for now. So let's get this situated. Now you can see illness is taking out a lot of folk right now. It's actually kind of crazy. We do have herbs, but the Vanquisher difficulty just has such a higher modifier that, like, if we don't get the healer hut up soon, we're going to be in trouble. But we do not have enough houses or enough people to do so yet. Ooh, 44 per crossbow. That's a pretty good deal. If we had a little bit more money, we'd do it. Yeah, and some of the people are unhappy. There are a couple things we can do. We need to get our food back on track. We need to get boots. A lot of those things are in motion. And spirituality. Now, spirituality is actually a really, really good one. So we're going to get up a shrine right here. And I think just for a second, we're going to turn off firewood splitter, board production, wood cutting, and let's just get everything built up real quick. We need to make sure all of our food is coming in. We just need a good wave of immigration. Basket maker off. Forager going. All of our food's going. Trade down to 0. We don't need a wagon right now. Keep the night soil collector. Boot this up to every single person we possibly can. Let's get everything built out. All right, we definitely have the housing. So once we get enough food, we're going to be in really good shape. These beans are going to push us over like 12 months worth of food. There we go. I'm feeling pretty good about this now. We're going to have 0 workers in the clay pit for the time being. All right, we have all of our defenses up now. All right, cool. We got the shrine up. I'm hoping that gives us a little bit more positives there. We just have to wait for... we need to hire someone here immediately. There we go. And then once we get the big haul of beans here at the end, that's going to give us all the food we need. Next, we're going to get some light entertainment up with a festival pole. This will be massive for us. And in the design, I believe the festival pole actually goes right here. The school goes right there. All right, we're in good shape. Okay. We need 150 for that pole, but it's going to be pretty vital. We just need to increase happiness and get that immigration rate up. Like they harvested 602 beans. Isn't a crazy amount of beans, but it's quite a bit. And we had 99 beans go to rot, which makes really 0 sense. I think someone got sick. Someone got killed by a predator. All right. So, yeah, the foragers are having issues. I'm wondering if you should pair your foragers with a hunter. And I'm also thinking we should move away from the boar spawn until we can set it up proper. Probably lost quite a few. Yeah, it was a boar that killed this person. I'm going to pair my forager with a hunter from now on as a kind of defensive force. Because there's typically... Yeah, here's the hunter and here's the deer, right? And we have a forager all the way over here getting herbs. No one's dying over here, though, so I think that one's safe. But we'll just take a peek and look at areas where we can see problems, try to solve them. All right, and we're in business now. We're just in that waiting phase. So let's auto-refill all professions, drop this down to 6. We need a bunch of laborers, and we just need another good haul. Okay, 10 months worth of food. Everyone's happy again. We should have shoes in production once we get some more people. I feel an immigration wave is going to hit us with a lot of folk here pretty soon. And to help speed it up and give us a little bit more workers, we're going to disable the lookout towers just for the time being. That will give us the money, and that will give us 2 more workers. All right, we're going to get rid of this road. And we're going to get the southern road up proper. All the way down and connecting. There we go. And another thing, though, is at the bottom of this, we are going to have a road. So I am actually going to have to reorganize some of this. I'm going to put him over here. Sometimes it's good to get all your roads in when you can. Here we are. Yeah, we can destroy this. We're just going to gradually start building out certain parts of the base. Get this southern road here. We got that down. Okay, perfect. All right, we got a trader coming. I'm hoping he wants to buy some wood. And we can sell some pelts. Probably shouldn't sell too many of them, though, because we do need shoes. And he has nothing for me. Perfect. Nice. 2 people came in. It's a little slow. We're going to get there. Honestly, I just need to sell this gent anything. I don't really want to sell him the bricks that I purchased, but getting this pull up is very, very important. Let's wait for the second trader. Okay, we got a second trader coming in. Yay, he's buying pelts. I think I'm going to sell pelts. It's going to hurt. We could sell a couple boards, too. All of this is going to hurt, but it needs to be done. The sooner I can get this up, I can get more people working. I think focusing on economy is probably going to be a wise thing to do right now. Even if it's just a small economy. Probably board production would be the wisest thing to mass produce right now. We need it for building. And it also doubles as a very good trade item and requires a very small investment of workers relative to all the other industries. All right, cool. We got 204. Throw it into the town. And let's take that money too. Just get all the cash we can. There we go. We're on the up and up now. We do not have enough people to help us. Let's pull 6 people out of the work camp. Put them into building. I'll pull them out of the board production. Just need to get people building right now. Get 2 people on the firewood splitter. But the idea of putting the town center here is to draw all the enemies into the center area and the trade posts. These things just are highly targeted, everything here, and surround it with towers. There we go. Look at that. Festival pull up. So it looks like shoes and clothing now. But we need to get that immigration rate up. 13 villagers are unhappy. So getting shoes up would probably be the wisest thing I could do. Get someone in there quickly. And getting more food. Alright, we're in good shape. Let's go back to auto refill positions and hopefully get people back to work. Alright, yeah, we got the money rolling in now. Does look like we're missing pelts. I think we'll probably up the hunter. Let's make sure that we are getting as much as possible here. Hunter there. Looks like a little bit of death over here. Good spawn point though. Yeah, we got a hunter there. The plains are really good for like having a bunch of hunter cabins. We'll place a hunter over here. We'll also place a hunter over... I think there's boars near here. Hunter over here. I want to be bringing in a lot of pelts now. And a lot of meat. That'll be good for us. Alright, 2 came in. We're starting to get a trickle. Trickle is good. Trickle is very good. I think we're going to break this down to 4 individuals in the forester camp. We got a really good thing going. Start bringing in a lot of wood once we get it going. We're getting some weird rot, though, which is kind of interesting. We shouldn't have this much rot with 3 people on there. So we're going to have to put that up to 4, which is very odd. Okay, yeah, look at that. We're getting there now. It looks like we almost got full employment. A few people shy. Like I said, unfortunately, that's the drawback to big builds like this, is you have this this phase where you struggle quite a bit. Nice. Another villager born. One person came in. We're getting a lot of dehydration because of how spread out some of these shacks are. Now, we don't really have the infrastructure to supply them with temporary shelters. We'd need too many wagons going. But we can get them basic wells, and this will actually be pretty beneficial to you. So we're gonna wellify all of our areas. Get wells. That'll help with some of the dehydration issues that we're seeing. I think we also want to get a school up here pretty soon. We're just waiting on the a wave of This is honestly one of the most unlucky periods of time I've ever had. We cannot get anyone to come here. Usually people are... it's funny, when I was terraforming, I had wave after wave. But now that I'm actually taking care of them, they're just like, nah. Like, these people just like to be abused, I guess. I guess I'm not exciting enough. Animal husbandry might be a good idea with chickens. Wood lore can actually be pretty good. Plus 5 more resources per forage source. Especially with how many foragers that we do actually have. I'm going to put 1 point into that. See if that can get us a little bit of a boost in our food. And yeah, illness is unsurprisingly taking out way too many people. I think we can actually see how we've lost. Let's go over here. Let's see. We have had only one decline that it's showing. But if you look back, you can see we've had quite a few deaths. And a lot of it is due to raids and unhappy people. Yeah, it's primarily the how long we've gone without clothing, I think, is the main issue right now. Need to get individuals into towers. Get a little bit of cash. See, what can we buy? Nothing. All right, we got a raid coming in. Just a pretty small raid, only 10. That's what happens when you stay under 50. So this is considered like a lord raid on the heart, even though it's not a whole lot. And the corner towers are doing their job, as you can see. And our mid area is doing pretty decent. This guy's a little beefy. You can see he's taking less and less damage as we're losing. So we went from -14 to 9 per shot. So you can see that these height modifiers are rather a big deal. And we just need to get more towers. And we need to get an army effectively to kill these battering rams. Not too worried about the gent down here. I am, however, going to grab every individual I can get to pounce on this large battering ram. And once we get more towers, we'll be doing 3 per shot while they're down in the valley. And we'll probably be able to kill the majority of these. But dang, those battering rams, look how much damage they do. You just can't really compete with them. I need to get my hunters. Hunters have clubs and swords, and they do more damage. Rebuild some of this stuff.
What is it?
And all we have to do is hit the battering ram enough times. Here we go. We got a guy with the sword in, so he's doing 3 damage. Okay, cool. We got it. That stupid thing did a lot of damage. Okay, new trader. Let's see what he's got. Nothing. Looks like we still have another wave coming in. Get people back in. Alright, here comes the second wave. I do like that they kind of break the waves up. It does make it a little bit easier on us. It's really only the battering rams you have to worry about in the early stages, and that's why we need to get a barracks up. I think our barracks is actually going to be melee. Since we have so much ranged, I don't think it's going to be as advantageous for us as people who can destroy these battering rams. The battering rams seem to be the biggest threat to us right now. Here they come from the south over here. Nice. We do have this tower. I bet you this lookout tower right here, it's got plus 15. It's going to do a doozy at 28, 26, 25. Boom. That's why height is so impressive. It just really messes them up. And there we go. They didn't even stand a chance. They're already running away. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to get everyone back to work. I think we're actually going to turn off the Forester camp. We need to get all other professions fully stocked here. And the trader doesn't need to be 2 people. It can just be 1 for now. Alright. And they destroyed only 1 building. And that was that 1 tower. And we killed 8 of 10 of them, and they killed none of us. Yeah, we got it going on. We got nuts, lots of good stuff going on here. Lots of food coming in. All right, there we go. Finally, 5 individuals. I think we were just really unlucky. Typically, you get some big waves of people. So now we're full up. We're going to put everyone on to build. We'll get these wells out. We want to make sure people aren't dying from dysentery. And we're still getting crop rot here. Something weird is going on. Something really, really weird is going on. I think it might be a glitch. I wasn't having this before the patch, but to have that many crops rotting for absolutely no reason is kind of baffling. At least we're still getting most of them, right? Let's make sure that we're not eating raw meat. Okay, we finally have laborers. We're going to put 2 people back on the forester camp. Keep the wood coming in. We are going to have an extra market right over here, right where this spot is, and for the next houses. Now, I use 6 markets in total, and each market does about 16 houses. This is actually really good. It keeps all of these houses stocked so that people are working. So as soon as that up, we'll get this market. I think we're just going to start stacking houses now. We're going to wait for immigration waves, though. Man, and these villagers, they just love to die from illnesses. I don't get it. There's something about this map that is giving me one of the worst rates ever. I think it's the fact we're on year 36 and I don't have a health facility up. So we need to get that up ASAP. But yeah, this is great. This is real good. We got good modifiers. Okay. We're going to get 2 people in the clay pit. We're also going to get the school up next. Need 30 clay. We got the money for it now. Need to terraform this area out for houses. We have this middle area for decorations if we want to go to the next tier. Alright, we're in good shape. Max happiness. Max food coming in now. Good chunk of fruit spoilage. Good chunk of meat spoiling. Might need to get another smoker up. But we can't afford it quite yet. Okay. Let's just make sure everything is going well for us. There we are. We got our water supply. We're going to buy some of these clubs to help us out with animals. I think people are dying because they don't have weapons. So they're using their fists. So the hunters are probably getting murked. There are, in the plains, there are a lot of boars. We may have to decide to kill this. These boars have murdered probably 15 individuals over the last 30 years. I mean, it adds up over time, right? Got the Forger Shack, got the Hunter. I do like this parallel, though. I think that these synergies work really well together to help, fight off bears while the Foragers are out there. Because if a Forager gets hit by a bear, it's done. All right, and the compost yard needs to be moved over here. New trader in town. Nice, we're starting to make baskets. And it does look like wood planks are going to be the future. So once I get a good amount of people, we're going to go all out on boards. Definitely want to get the school up. That will help us improve some efficiencies. Educated workers supposedly have a better work rate. And cleanliness is interesting. So cleanliness is not just soap. It's compost yards. It's also rat catchers. And barrels from coopers can help. So cleanliness has a lot of factors. If you just have to look at the detail and you'll realize that. At first I thought it was soap when I first started playing. So compost yards and rat catchers. So even though it's not saying that we have a rat problem, it's possible people are dying from illness because our root cellar does not have a rat catcher on it. So with that said, let's get a rat catcher down. Because I think that we are losing quite a few people. Let's get a rat catcher down right here. It will cost us a little bit, but I think it will save some lives. And I need those lives to toil in the mines. I'm pretty happy with this setup, though. I think we're doing great. And as I get more people, our next objective, once we get the wood going and we get that trade, we're just going to focus purely on trading any excess materials we're crafting and planks. We got the wood, too. And then we're going to use all other people to start building out 3 farms. And that's going to set us back, but it's going to allow us to go from 64 to 200 pop. We're going to grow really fast. We're going to have a bunch of kids, but that's all right, too. All right. And get 6 houses up. The kids do kind of grow up fast. You just have to take the hit. You can also, though, say no. We're going to just build 2 houses right now, and then we'll open up houses as more people come. Right now, I'm actually honestly just doing it for the extra money. You can see this market square is getting all these because we're getting the most money, so that's 24. That's helping us out. Okay, and then we got the rat catcher. And the rat catcher's doing a pretty good job. Look at that. Ba-boom. Now, I'm hoping that that rat catcher is going to bring our disease down, even though it's not telling us we're having a problem. Oh, the school's up. Okay. So now we're going to upgrade all these houses, and that's going to increase our population pretty substantially right there and give us a little bit more taxes. All right. Max happiness, big wad of food. We should see some massive immigration now. 2 new villagers, 2 villagers sick.
What needs doing?
Typhoid. Oh, the diseases. And we need to pull in a teacher from anywhere. There we go. Okay, we just need like a few more people. 12 months in food, 54. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are infants. No, actually not that many. 37 fit to work. We're doing pretty good. So we got planks. We got wood. This is decent for us. Let's plus that up to 4 people. So as we get more folk moving in, we'll be in good shape. We're going to disable construction here. Simply because I think we have too many houses. But we're in a Goldilocks period now, finally. Oh yeah, look at that. 2 newborn, 1 died from illness. I don't know. I feel like even though it's not telling us the rat catcher's helping, we know it is because our cleanliness is still... Oh, no, it's still crap. These things are interesting, though. Yeah, cleanliness, 43%. I wish it would actually give us a little bit more detail. It is a bit ambiguous. That's weird. 64. Entertainment is always low. Luxury is always a bit low. Clothing's a bit low. For the most part, people are very happy. But I feel like cleanliness is causing a lot of disease right now. Burying corpses in the graveyard. Ah, so dead bodies also cause disease spread, which makes sense. I mean, we cleaned it up. We have a very proper burial area. So I'm trying to figure out. I think that we do need soap. And we are bringing in tallow. Let's think about the future here. Let's get some soap production going. So this has a very small radius. I think we can put this up here. So you can put some buildings up here. I tend not to put anything that's not meant for it up here, but that's industry. But I feel like soap is kind of a gray area because the desirability is not going to impact anything. Just basically don't put anything up here that's going to cause desirability issues for you. All right. Okay. We're getting the walls up. Slope is too steep. All right, we need to fix that. Start getting this area up a bit. There we go. See what we got going on here. All right, so we have a little bit of pelts to sell. I'm going to hold off on that. See what we're bringing in. All right, so we got shoes. We still have some willow left. That's great. For basket making, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. We finally got a 61 out of 76. We're going to have to hold off for a really good wave of immigrants. We have a bunch of houses that are upgraded. We're pulling in 11. I think that the soap is going to help us out with cleanliness, and maybe people will stop dying. All right, we have a raid coming. I'm not afraid of basic raids at all. To be honest, they really don't stand a chance against our defenses right now, even with just 2 towers. Okay, we got 13 raiders coming in. Oh, damn it. They got battering rams. Okay. So this is not just a small raid. This is a medium-sized raid. So these are the ones that you need to be afraid of. We have a bannerman down here. We have a hunter. And we seem to be getting diseased out here in the fields. Got 3 individuals down there. Oh, nice. A fire. Perfect timing. All right, let's speed this up a tad bit. Okay, cool. We didn't lose the school. That would have been actually pretty bad. So they're going to come in from this side, which really sucks. Luckily, we'll have the tower to defend. All of these gents are going to try to get some loot. Let's get the hunter over here beaten on that thing and the second hunter. I think by the time these 2 hunters get here, most of these guys are going to be toast. Yeah, see how much damage they're taking from this tower with its height modifier? That's why I put these things right underneath here. Boom, boom, boom. So he went from like taking 22 to 9 once he got the same height. Pretty crazy. This guy's toast too. The market will be safe. This tower will protect the market. So boom, boom, boom. Yeah, everything's good right now. We got 2 guys beating on this thing. Doing 2 and 7. One's doing 7 because he has a sword. That's why I want to get a barracks with some swordsmen, because then we can just you know, pop these things really quick. So I think we're going to break through this whole thing before it destroys us. So that's good. Everybody else is running. Yeah, we're in good shape. We won. So yeah, for now, we'll just have to use our hunters to defend us and pull off. You don't want to break that thing open. Like I said, about 10 dudes will pop out. Okay, we're in good shape. That was a good raid. 2 new people came in. 1 person was born. Beautiful. We're just waiting for that magical immigration. Our houses are getting up. And it looks like primarily boards are the issue. We're going to bump this up to 6. And autofill. And the work camp, I'm going to bump that up to 6 as well. I think we're going to get all of our people in here very soon. We're going to have soap. We're going to have everything. It's going to be great. Okay, turn that off. I'm going to turn off the lookout towers so we can get those people into the workforce. And also to just start pulling money into the city. Now, we do have 50 clay. I'm going to pull these guys out of the clay pit just for a bit. I just want to get everything running right now at maximum. Oh, second wave. Yeah, sometimes you get hit with the second wave. We got 4 people coming in. We're not going to need we might actually need to get this 1 tower up. So you can see the clipping issue with having things in the middle. It might happen to the barracks as well. The whole point of the barracks, though, is anyone on these gates is going to be able to get shot by them. It's the towers that are going to be your main driving force.
Will do.
And unfortunately, they burned my school down, so we're rebuilding that. And we have smallpox hitting us now. So, whoops. Yeah. Maybe give it 5 seconds before you put your guys away. Those 5 seconds would have saved our school. But we're all right. We're back up. And, yeah, it's hitting hard. When you have a thing like this happening to you with smallpox, you need to get out of ×5 mode. It spreads like wildfire. And our monthly cost will be 25. We got to get this thing up, though. We're just losing too many people. I am going to have them build it, but we're not going to use it until we have the money. We'll turn it off. All right, we got to turn off all of this stuff right now. Keeps even the soap guy. Our basic infrastructure does not have enough people. And the disease is spreading. There we go. Luckily, we have herbs, or the people die. Them dying is probably better than the whole village getting sick and then half the population dying, to be honest. Kind of morbid, but our best case scenario is these people die off so they don't spread the disease. Yeah, the smallpox is spreading. Let's look at our tech. Yeah, there's not much we can do. 50% reduced chance and spread of smallpox outbreaks. We need a tier 3 for that, though, so we're not going to get that. That's a good one. All right, villager's been cured. That's good. That's good. We're getting there. Maybe the ×5 mode isn't the issue. I don't know. Let's leave it on ×5 and find out. Yeah, people are getting sick, but, you know, it's kind of normal. Oh, no, it's definitely spreading faster. Okay, so we have a big raid coming, and we're not ready for it. I guess I just wanted to make this really hard for myself. So it is interesting to see that terraforming early strategy is not very effective. All right, cool. Yeah, see, the disease is going down when we're in ×3 mode. That's good. We're going to turn these towers back on. Okay, I think the disease has finally left. Okay, everyone is cured now. We need 1 more board for the hospital here. These are good, though, because after a raid, when people get downed, you can still save them if you need someone in here. We'll have to disable the healer's hut for just a bit. So we get the 25. That's actually one reason why I like spamming houses. It's one of the most effective ways to just get the money you need, because you get 1 gold per on a normal and 2 gold on a upgraded. So screw it. We're going to upgrade all our houses. We just need money. There we go. We're just getting so many dehydrated folk. Yeah, we did. That's what's happening. They're getting dehydrated. They're getting stuck. Keep in mind, this is the beta version. So it is a little bit buggy. So it doesn't look like they're prioritizing their health. Like they're just staying out there and dying. So we're losing people that way too. I mean, I do enjoy the fact that they're working themselves to death for me. That is great, but I do believe they need to fix that. All right, get some more houses down here. Get some more money coming in. And we definitely have room in one of the graveyards down here. Yep. Cool. So these wells should help us with the dehydration. And once this well's up, this area will have everything that it needs. It looks like that rot issue is gone now, so that's interesting. Okay, we're going to get these walls up. Yeah, everything's pretty low. We have to turn off all of our industry. Work camp can probably go down to 4 people. That's actually fine. Nice. 2 villagers recovered. Okay, finally. It looks like... Nope. I don't know what their problem is. There we go. Finally, cut the tree down. Get that well up, please. I do think we actually should move this tower up here. ASAP. I think it's going to do the most damage up here. Especially with that big raid coming. Let's do that now. Turning the work camp off. Turning board production off. Please. We need to build everything up, repair everything before this raid. Nice. 2 children just grew up. Nice. 2 just came in. We're getting more people. Okay, we're in good shape. I think we can actually put everyone back to work now. Almost. Yeah, there's only 3 builders needed. That's good. And prioritize this tower, please. Actually, I just realized in the design we don't have multiple gates here. That's unfortunate. I need to move this thing. We'll wait till after the raid. We do have a double gate here. And then we have a gate here, and then a gate here, and then multiple towers. This is great. Let's just get people in here. Let's get 2 people. We're about to get hit really hard. So turn off auto refill. Work camp. Fill the guards. Okay, then turn it back on. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're ready for this raid. This will be good. This will be much stronger. We still are losing people to illness. We definitely need to get this turned on soon. We're at 16. Getting 15 gold for the upgraded homesteads. That's actually really good. It's actually really, really good. So we probably should focus on getting all these houses upgraded. And I'm trying to think. I know we're going to use garden trails here. They hit pretty much everything. Try to get that going here. Alright, cool. They have a water source out here now. Nice. 4 people just came in. 1 person was born. We're getting there where we have a full amount of people working. That's really good. I'm going to start moving boards in for trade finally. I'm moving 50 boards. All right. So we have our first economy going finally after that massive setback. Yeah, I will say in these massive terraforming projects, like, this is a much harder way to play in the early stages of the game. You're just fighting against the game on the harder difficulty. 19% are educated. 46 are fit to work. Okay, we have 1 educator. Yeah, and a lot of these guys are getting the negative. Are they not getting a negative from this anymore? Because it's off? It might be because it's off, yeah. Okay, that's going to suck when I turn this thing back on. Or maybe not, actually. Yeah, I don't think we're getting a negative from it anymore. It's weird. Shit, the bears are coming into town. That's another reason why we need to get walls. Okay. Let's send our storage cart inside over here. Alright, you're 40. What's cool is when you get your population high enough, the immigration waves actually go up to like 20 to 30 people coming in, so it does scale really well. We don't have a whole lot of meat spoilage, so we don't need another... Not yet, but we might need one soon, another smokehouse. Nice, 1 immigration and 1 new villager. There we go. We're finally at max with 2 laborers. Let's see if we can make some money. Nope. Premium sand. Wish I could buy it. Well, we do have hides. We do have both hide coats and pelts. And we're actually going to have a lot more pelts than I think we need. How many hunters we have. So let's try selling that. We do have a bit of an issue over here. I'm going to put the first garden trail over here if I can. 10 and 25. That's not bad. Put one right here. And one right there. Perfect. That will help keep these guys upgraded. We're at 18. We need to hit 25. I need to get this thing upgraded over here. All right. So we got a good swing. We're going to buy some clubs. We definitely need clubs. We don't have any weapons on our guardsmen. I'm going to buy as many as I can. Buy and transfer. 6 is good. And herbs. Yeah, we just want to make sure this thing is stocked when these traders come to buy things. All right, look at that. Finally, 12. Okay. We were just really unlucky with the RNG gods. Usually I just get wave after wave. Okay, finally. All right. So things are in a really good place for us now. Let's increase everything that
Need anything?
within reason. So baskets, 1 is good because we're buying it. Soap, 2 is good. I think we should have 2 people making shoes. I've had issues when we don't have enough arrows, so let's do a ratio of 4 to 1. Make sure that we have a 40 quota there, 1,000 quota there. Firewood splitter seems to be doing an okay enough job, but we need to keep an eye on that. We could have some issues. And I think we have 750. Let's do 1,000 is our quota. Things are looking up for us. 6 over here and 6 over here in the Forester camp. Okay, we're in really good shape. I think we're going to actually get 2 folk in the wagon shop. And let's get some individuals back into clay gathering. And they're almost about to construct that house over here. Let's see, what do we need? Okay, so that shelter is pushed there. I think we're going to get all of the garden trails up over here to push these guys into tier 2 homes. Okay, and that enemy has not come yet. So, should I just roll the dice here? I guess so. Let's roll the dice and get this thing moved. You know it's going to come right after I do that. But I want to get our defenses up correctly. 26. There we are. We're going to pop the healer's hut on now. And put 2 people into there. This should help us not die. And not dying is cool. So now we're at 84 of 103. So this is kind of it's just kind of funny. We just had a really rough start. But now we're on easy street. And we're just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. But the other problem now is I do need a lot of food. We have enough people that I can start. So what I would like to do, I was going to do 12 by 12, but it's just not going to happen, is get a 6 by 12 up over here. And get the 6 by 12 up over here. Also get the 6 by 12 up over here. 75. Okay, what are we going to have in the long run here, though? Is a 12 by 24. We'll have 42. That's not great, but it's also not the worst. You could do a lot worse than that. All right, so let's get up these 4. That is going to set us back a bit, but I think we're going to get the people and the time it takes to get these up. And we're going to need the food because we're going to try to double our population here pretty soon. And as soon as we get some more gold, we're going to put up another tower too. Actually, we should get a barracks up. Do 50, 30, yeah. We should get the barracks up pretty much immediately. Yeah, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to shoot arrows out of this thing because of the terraforming. It's going to clip, but the whole point of this is to have an area that can shoot people on the gates. That's why the towers are very important. Primarily, I think we just need to focus on getting some melee individuals so that we can take out those battering rams. And we just need 1 good trader. We have a lot of items that we can put up for trade right now. I think we can even start selling shoes and soap. And early game, this is actually kind of how you survive. You just sell anything and everything you can, little quantities at a time. And it does look like board production is in full gear now, so that's amazing. We're going to push every board we have into there, 182. Villager has been cured. Okay, so it looks like we don't have people dying anymore, so getting a healer's house up was smart. Yeah. Part of me wants to turn it off just for a little bit. Then another part of me doesn't want to die. So, the next thing we need to do, and I should have done this a while ago, is get the academy up. But that's 500. We just didn't have the money for it. But we have it now. And I'm going to get the academy up right over here. Close to where we're going to be producing paper. Oh, actually, hold on a tick. We do need to get the roads up in this design. There we go. Yeah, the academy can actually go right here. This is actually probably the best place for it. Right here. We'll make it pretty. Alright, we have no more willow. I'm going to empty the basket shop. We're going to halt construction so we can focus on the barracks. All right, we got a trader. Let's see. Oh, he's not buying anything from us. I haven't been pretty unlucky. People haven't been buying logs or any of that stuff either. Cool. Another crop ready for assignment. So let's give it the old song and dance here. Diggy dude, clovers and beans. And I think we can get away with 3 now on all of these. And that's going to help us. We're going to need all that food coming in. Foraging and hunters, though, are really doing a great job. We could probably get another hunter up, too. Okay, we have a lot of smoked meat. A lot of pelts. Like more herbs that we can put up for trade. And that's kind of the trick with trade, is always just be moving goods in. Don't wait for the traders to come. Like, otherwise it will take forever. Like, just start... You can just have one dude in the trade post. You really don't need too many. As long as you're just slowly moving everything in. Just periodically go through it. Alright, 14 villagers graduated. Our education rate is definitely going up now. See, 38% education rate. That's good. 109 villagers. 4 monthly gold. Everything's upgraded. We need more money. I need to upgrade this marketplace too. So we actually do need clay bricks. There we go. We could bump this down to 3 people as well. Diggy dude clover beans for all until we get the fertility and weeds up. Good diet of beans and smoked meat. Alright, big ass raid is coming. We have the second. Nice. The next trader is buying everything. I'm going to sell every single thing here. Okay, that was a good, cool 767. We have enough clubs for everybody. So I want to throw all of this as fast as possible into my buildings. I am going to turn off autofill. And we are going to stop production of everything over here. Get people building. I want to get them to throw the money in as fast as possible before the raid hits. And we're going to hit the dial hopefully right when they're coming up. We have 2 towers up here. I definitely need to get a 3rd tower, probably over in this corner, to protect all the stuff over here. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to protect this market square unless they're hitting from the top, which they're not going to be. All right, 89 in there. Looks like 500 there. Let's see. Where is the army? Oh, there they are. They're peeking out. All right, looks like all the money's been moved. Oh, no, the money's still in the trading post. Shit. There we go. Move that money. That's enough to do everything that we wanted. All right, small group coming in. I think the tower should actually take most of those dudes out. Let's see. And the other group is coming from the south. It looks like the fighter down there. Nice. They don't have any battering rams. Okay, we should probably actually be able to take this, but let's ring that bell. The most important thing is the money is technically protected. It's all right here. We got 2 towers. All right, we got our next crop ready up too. Boot that down to 3. Diggy dude, clover, peas. All right, we're in business. That's going to be a lot of food for us. And here they come. Oh yeah, look at that. Those 2 towers are just laying down the law. But you can see that the damage is going down as we lose the height elevation. But yeah, they're getting ripped up. Boom, boom, boom. And they're running the gauntlet. They're coming for the goodies. Yeah, we didn't even need to do that. That's beautiful. I'm going to just leave my towers on. I'm going to let everyone get back to work. I'm pretty sure we have another group of individuals here. Oh, looks like they're all kind of dead. Oh, here they come. Here's one more. Okay, cool. That was all of them. And we killed all of them. Beautiful. So once we get this up, battering rams won't be an issue anymore too. And so that's probably the first thing I'd recommend you do. All right, look at that. The academy is now up. So that's going to help us out substantially. Going to reduce our research. So let's come up here to our knowledge points. Come over to... Where was that? Yes, sir. Oh, right here. Natural philosophy. So we're going to do both ranks to get 30% research speed at the academy. We definitely want to upgrade it into School of Thought. We also want to get the paper press for sure. So we're going to do just these for now and hold off on our other points because we just don't have the workforce to expand too much. But that should help us out a lot right there. And we want to max this out to 6 people immediately. And we're good to go. Look at that. We just halved our next knowledge point. And we got an angry bear being a dick. Alright, that was beautiful. Yeah, these two towers on this elevation, they just ripped. Oh, look at that. And now we have a barracks. Very good. And so this barracks, being centralized, can get to any point in the map very quickly. Oh no, the deer have come. Okay, well the deer must die. Hopefully the deer don't get too adventurous over here. I think it's just one deer. And the deer spawn's pretty far away. But just to be safe, let's go kill a bunch of them. They only ate a little bit. Kill every one of these deer. Alright, cool. Alright, cool. The deer spawn will come back in a little bit, but that gives us some breathing room. Yeah, we're floating now. This is great. We got so much food coming in, and no one's dying because we have proper medical care now. Great. So the next thing is to get clay bricks and upgrade this market. And let's start terraforming this out. Get it flat, and we can start getting housing in. There we go. Oh, this is wonderful. It's been a while since I've had so many people. All right, autofill on. All right, 4 villagers born, 1 grew up. Looks like we had, I can't tell. The bear is blocking me being able to see the cool stuff. Yeah, we definitely had someone come in. We have a good workforce here still. I'm gonna bump the guard towers down to just 1 person in them for now. And we have a lot of good trade items, that's for sure. We have quite a bit. So the next time we get someone in here, we're going to make a fortune. Looks like we have 2 baskets, which means every person we have has a basket. That's good news. We have 47 shoes, so let's start trading shoes. All right. I'm going to start getting up just a ton of houses. And I know we're going to have a bunch of babies because of it, and I do not care. I just want the money. Nope, that's right. House is all the way to the end here. Perfect. Yep, hits them perfectly. So as soon as I can get some more bricks and we can get all these upgraded, we're going to have a massive population and we're going to have a lot of money. Make sure you turn meat off. There we go. And we definitely need to get a well up. A well up here. Well up there. Prioritize these wells. We do not want people getting sick. Nice. 2 immigration, 2 born. Take them however I can get them. And a new trader coming in. Nice. They're buying a lot of stuff. Let's sell the basics, right? 437 there. 468 there. Nice. They have bricks. We're going to buy, honestly, as many bricks as we can. I'm going to sell all of these boards now for 910. Let's see what we got. 74. We can upgrade this for 300. I'm going to throw some money into the town. We're going to upgrade this market now. All right. Market upgraded. Perfect. Get these built up. And it's just 25 gold and 10 stone for these. I'm going to get 3 of those bad boys up. We'll pull some money out of the market for that. And away we go. Look at that. We're back on track. Let's just keep moving items in. Ooh, we can sell some soap now too. That's really good. All right, so tools are probably one of the next things we want to get. So I'm just going to do it. Firewood, heavy tools, and forging, and smithing. So advanced metal casting. 30% durability for tools and 30% durability for heavy tools. Holy cow. I missed that. We're going to get that next. Going to make all of our tools last longer. That's brilliant, to be honest. So iron and tool production and coal. So iron, coal, and tool production. So we have infinite iron and coal here, and that's lovely. It's going to be very important for us later on. Now, it's... yeah, we're going to have an issue here. And I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of amend the design here. Have the road come down from here. This is going to be a little funky. But that should be the proper... I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. This is going to be a little tricky. It's possible we could just put the walls around it. And just have it in between the walls. That would be pretty good. So, and then we have stone down here. We got clay. But we need that infinite coal. It actually might make more sense not to do the infinite coal. And to just do firewood and we actually probably would get more. If I put 16 people in here, I bet you with 10 people I could get the same coal output with just firewood and the wood we already have coming in. Oh, that's kind of the problem right there. But iron is definitely the next thing. We got infinite iron down here, and I don't believe that this is going to touch it. So we'll probably be able to push out the cows and keep the infinite iron and infinite sand. Or we could have actually the cows on that same territory. It probably won't cause too many issues. Okay, so we got coal up here, 5,000. Yeah, almost 6,000. So let's start getting mines up. We got coal right here, and we got iron right there. Beautiful. That's going to be a pretty sweet setup right there. This infinite iron, though, is what I really want. I think we'll just ignore the infinite coal. All right, we have a big yield coming in. Big crop yield. Peas and a bunch of beans. That should get us through the year right there. Look at that, knowledge generated. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get advanced metal casting. Oh, we didn't have to have tier 3 for this. This is so confusing. I think this is based on time. Because I had a bunch of points and these things weren't available. Let's find out. -10 to produce firewood. 10% speed of farmer field work. Wow. Steel tools. Well, that's beautiful too. We want steel tools. I want all of that stuff. Oh, nice. Blacksmith can be upgraded for weapons. All right, we're making good progress here. Sustainable forestry. I don't think that's necessary quite yet. 20% plank production is probably going to be really worth it. All right, there we go. Upgrading some of these houses. Yeah, the academy was 8. That kind of set us back a little. We got quite a bit on the docket today. We're going to continue getting everything out, expanding our population, getting our food supply proper. Probably need to start thinking about getting some of the orchards, or at the minimum, getting the cow areas that we're going to have out. We do have in the design spacing for chickens over here. So what I'd really like to do is start getting out some of the outer perimeter, so it's just a little bit easier for me to map all this. So I'm actually going to move the rat catcher, I think, over here for the time being, so we can get this all done. Going to remove this road. So we're going to get our walls out down here, just placeholder. And we're going to do our roads this way. There we go. Good enough for now. We'll give them something to work on. Let's see how many builders we can get going. Not a lot. We finally just got our population up. You know, we got our barracks up. We just need to get some soldiers. Eventually, we just need to keep our immigration rate high and the food coming in so that we can get some good waves. And this road extends all the way south. And what's cool about this is we know this is the bottom of it. So there will be a one-tile gap so we can place some apiaries and stuff like that. And there will also be a wall here protecting everything. So to make sure the design kind of lines up with what I have, we're just going to put a 2-tile gap down here to account for the 1 tile I missed up there. And that's actually going to be pretty cool. We may even stack apiaries. I know we'll get a reduced yield, but it may actually work out in our benefit. There isn't going to be any roads down here. And we need to expand this way, and we need to expand this way. So we're going to have multiple fields out this direction. It's going to be a pretty big area. And we're going to have a blank area right here that we can put chicken coops in. So let's go to our tech tree. We have 0 points. And we definitely want to get 1 point into animal husbandry and probably start getting some chickens. The meat from chickens is actually a really good return, and you get eggs. And you're going to need eggs for tier 5 housing to make the pastry. So look right here, 8 people. Ba-boom. Okay. We're getting a little full now. Perfect. A little bit of fire action going on. And we have a lot of houses going up and being upgraded, I should say. All right, this forager shack, I'm going to move probably right over here. Get it out of the way. Luckily, these graveyards aren't in the way at all, so that's actually kind of perfect. Wait, nope, this one right here is. So we're going to spend some cash, 118 gold, and we're going to move it just south a little bit. And so we have 3 arborists here. We have a bunch of stuff going on here. I think we should probably try to get this area out right here, since we have a bunch going on. We also have grazing area for cattle and stuff like that over here. So we're going to pump all of this out. And this should align with the corner wall here, and it does. So let's start getting up walls pretty much everywhere. And we'll need to terraform this correctly. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be kind of meshed in. So we're going to have a gate so people can get into the market. But this wall will help to keep our enemies at bay. and from destroying things willy-nilly. Very good. We got a lot of good things going on right now. All right, that's great. We have some houses upgrading. We got a good chunk of people coming in. Definitely want to get paper going at some point. And put that down to 10 builders. We need to push some people back into the workforce. All right, let's make sure this all aligns with everything. I think we're going to try to align it kind of midpoint with both of the markets. Kind of like, you know, where all the food is. So most of the houses. And that's looking pretty good right there. And heck yeah, we got ourselves a trader. Let's see. He's buying a little bit of everything. That's my favorite kind. And so that puts us at 730. Money is going to become the currency of the future here. So we can buy sand at 3. Get into glass making. Booze we want to get into. Wheat, all that stuff. Right now I just kind of want to buy heavy tools and focus on that. Now we did unlock the majority of those things. So let's take a gander. So yes, we unlocked forging and smithing and heavy tool production and 30% durability for tools and heavy tools. Steel tools is what I want next, mainly for the farmer fieldwork, 10% speed. We can probably hold off on that one actually. 10% to produce iron. These are all great. Glass blowing. There's just so many tech points that we really, really want. Paper would probably be a good one to go into, but it's a little intensive. So realistically, we're just playing that nice little waiting game of needing people. So we've reduced a lot of fatalities here. We've increased our health pretty substantially. Entertainment and clothing are next. So flax, clothing, all those things are going to be pretty vital to our survival. All right, we can continue to trade boards. However, I want to be a little careful because we are going to need a lot of that for trade. Coal is also a good trade item that we will go into. And right there is heavy tools. So we're going to start stacking these up to the best of our ability. And I think getting into iron ore production would be very wise. We have 4,500 ore there. We have 4,400 ore up here. Let's see, what else do we have? A part of me wants to start mining this iron right here simply because I really want to get rid of it as fast as possible. And it doesn't look like we're getting negatives, which is really interesting. I'm going to put it just a little bit over here. We also have sand for glassware. So we're going to get that guy up too. Too steep. We're just going to get all the mines up. We don't need to have people in them quite yet. Now we do... Oh yeah, we did actually get that one up already. Yeah, we did. I'm going to switch these guys out. We're just going to pre-establish our mines so that we know what we're doing. Gathering ore. I'm still not seeing any negatives from it, which I guess maybe they took it out because they realized it was kind of annoying building around it. So if I don't have to worry, that's awesome. All right, we're getting the bottom area up. Now we already did get the paper press unlocked, so that's pretty sweet. We do need to get flax going at some point. Now do bear in mind we're just starting off really to get the majority of the food production, so kind of in that stabilization phase. We have plus 17. It's almost good enough. We're going to start getting this stuff up. Now, I don't really care about road access to this area. It's the 4x4 area. This is a perfect area to put, like, a bunch of storage, like stockyards, to be honest. Just, you know, a filler area. And I'm just going to start getting up a little bit of the backside defenses, just to make myself feel better. I kind of like the aesthetic of a half-finished area, too. It looks kind of cool. We definitely have a lot of wood. Okay. Get these gates up. Okay. Iron mines going again. Get these palisade gates up. We definitely want to terraform this correctly before we put the walls up. It causes issues when you try to terraform with walls. We want this to gradually slope so people can walk in and out. But we also want to have it defended. Nice. 3 villagers born and 4 just came in. We're growing fast. Alright, wall down here. A little bit of wall action going on all over. Slope that down. Oh, that's perfect right there. That's a good slope. Okay, we can wall that off too. A little bit more slope action going on here. That's the important thing, is just to have it go gradual so that you can build your buildings without having it wonk out the terrain. There we go. I'm going to get some gates over on these sides too, just to make it a little bit easier for things to move in and out. And yeah, I think I don't think the deep core mine is actually going to be very useful for us, but we can always come back to this. We can always amend the design later. Get that road down the center correct. And there we go. Get more of the defenses out. Very good. Hopefully we can get the majority of the walls up here pretty soon. And I just remembered in the back corner, I typically have a shrine right here. So I'm not sure if we're going to need the shrine though. Temple might actually hit now. But that does tell me that this is the chicken coop area. Ooh, no. Lack of firewood in a shelter. Well, that's stupid. Oh, it's the one that's being upgraded. They're just sitting out in the snow. Whoopsie daisy. Okay. And then 10 tiles away from here is where the new wall starts. But boom. So this is the next wall. And this is going to be important to lining up the chicken coop. And it's going to fully align with this area over here. And I want to get this up because I'd really like to get one of the chicken coops going. Oh, look at that. It lined up perfectly with all the stuff we're doing over here. And then the chicken coop goes in the corner. And the grazing area just sits right here. Alright. I want to get a chicken coop up. Pretty bad. Alright, so we unlocked it. We're going to get the chicken coop right here where the design calls for it. Look at the fodder bonus there. 83%. Pretty cheap, too. And I just need to get a couple chickens and we're golden. Alright, let's see what we got for trade. Not a whole lot, but let's go down the line. We got 50 shoes, so yeah, next time someone comes, have a bunch of shoes. Boards are starting to pick up. Let's start throwing boards out there. Looks like soap can be traded. And that's looking like it for now. We're going to keep building up. Once we get enough people, we can keep increasing our industries. We have a 91% work rate on our forester camp. We really should be bringing in more trees. I think now... We had it understaffed, and I think now that these maples are all becoming mature, we're going to really start to pull in a lot of wood. Okay, second trader is here. He will buy soap, and he is selling nothing that I want currently. Nice, we are gathering a little bit of coal. I think we're going to start actually selling that coal. Sell a 94 of it. Villagers died. Ooh, you got killed by bears. Yeah, the hunter... Oh, the hunter's shelter stocking. Even though I have... Okay. Yeah, we need to put 2 people in each of these market squares. And now you can see that because it's tier 2, it levels out automatically. So, this is pretty good. That's 16 houses per market. So, it's a lot easier to shelter stock. Oh, dude, this bear's going crazy out here. It's one actual negative of having just too many hunters. The bears will start killing a lot of people. Alright, look at that. And then you put the grazing area right here. You can actually put it over here. 7 people. May have actually made this too big. What's going on here? Maybe they changed it since I last did this. Alright, we should have a 10 tile gap. Oh, yeah, they changed it by 1. What do you know? Used to be 8, now it's 7. That's okay. I mean, we can put it anywhere we want. We can even leave the 2 tile gap over here now. Beautiful. Okay, 82. Well, we're about to get hit. We don't need anyone in here right now. Okay, yeah, it's 7 by 7. I just need to update my graph. I had it right before. Perfect. All right, we're about to get hit pretty hard. We were getting hit by 12 raiders, and I'm trying to think. Probably need to get 2 more folk into the lookout towers, but this should be a relatively easy raid. They might destroy a few buildings over here. We do definitely need to start getting more towers out. So we need to get a tower up over in this corner immediately. Provide fire for all of our buildings over here. Ooh, we just got hit by a big drought. Okay, yeah, these are just the little baby guys. Yeah, they shouldn't do too much damage. Speed this up. For some reason they wanted to come down here and take the road into the city. I think they're cool, I guess. And they go right for the gates. That's good. They could have walked around, but they're just like, nah, let's break this gate. All right, they're coming up the top. Boom. Yeah, the gates are locking pretty good. All right, cool. Yeah, we're getting a good amount of damage done to these folk. Speed it up just a tad bit. There we go. Look at the range on that. So like right when they're in this area, this locked in area, they're getting hit for maximum. It's pretty deadly. Once I get the multiple towers up, you can see that this is going to be quite the pickle to attack. There we go. Okay. We chased them all off. Very good. That was an easy raid. I'm going to take one person out of each tower now. We're still kind of building our workforce. And they'll be back with another small raid, but we should be able to take it with just the people in the towers, I think. Alright, let's just get a little bit of a mark down here. Oh, I see what I did. I had it right. I messed up just a tad bit down here. Okay. These are always the growing pains of a build. I need to push all of this back one. I need to push this whole wall here back one. That's why we're one tile off over here. Okay. That is perfect. But, to be fair, it kind of worked to our advantage. Because we did have the iron mine here. But, it's not an issue. Yeah, where that was actually the road. Okay. We need to bump it all back just a tad bit. Does present an issue because the clay right there is in the middle of everything, but we'll get around it somehow. Okay, let's flatten some of this stuff out over here. And let's bump the wells up one. Growing pains of a build. But very, very easy fix, thankfully. Good to make these changes before you go too far. Okay, so the road's going to go through, or the walls are going to go right there. Perfect. We're all set now. And make sure you're holding shift when you're placing these roads, because, I mean, stuff gets weird. It doesn't look right sometimes. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Should probably try to clear this entire freaking resource out so we can properly close the area. I'm gonna boot up the root cellar. Boom, there we go. At least we can move stuff now. There we are. Now it's properly lined up. And if we get one trader that has some chickens, I'm gonna take them. We'll get some chickens going. Yep, there we go. So we got our 10, and then the wall. 10 length, and then the wall. That's pretty easy. I was just being silly. Okay. And then this thing just all the way has to be moved. I think right here is good. Move it there. We're going to have 2 towers down here eventually. I kind of just want to get that set up so I don't forget. These are just nice little towers to help out with some of the early game defenses. They kind of just lead. They help protect the farms too, and the areas. Basically, while people are running, these towers are taking aggression. You'll usually lose them, but they're worth it in my opinion, just to reduce the deaths. All right, he had cows and goats, but no chickens. Boom. Okay, right there. Got a gate on that. Now let's cut this tree down. Okay, we're growing. All right, sand mine right here. Next. Okay, we got the iron and we got the sand. Come on, chickens. There we go, chickens. 109 a pop. We are going to be full up on chickens here. That's going to be beautiful. The eggs and meat coming in like at different times is really going to help out with our food. So we just sold a bunch, and it looks like we have more planks. Right now, the only economy we really have is planks. We're going to buy a lot of chickens. I'm going to say 10. 1,000 in chickens. Fern. Get the people out here now. Now, we need to start growing some kind of food. They can eat roots, so realistically, what we should probably do is a turnip and bean situation. Alternating. So we need to get this all in check now. So I think what we're going to do is very early stages of food production. I think we're going to have 6. So we need to figure out the maximum point for this. All right, so 12 and 18. Okay. So right here is where we can build. Perfect. By 12. Yeah, we're going to get all of our fields up. Just get the foundation. That way I can do a simpler crop rotation. Easier to do it in 3s, so let's get those up. For the time being, though, we're just going to do a little bit of a mix and match over here. Okay, we'll get rid of this. We'll start growing turnips right here. Got a little bit of heat tolerance. It's going to be a little weird. As long as we just have a little bit of turnips going, they should eat them. Alright, so we got turnips in the 1st, 2nd, but we don't have them in the 3rd. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about optimizing these quite yet. There we go. That will get us some good food. All right. Now, iron smelting and all that's going to be next on the menu. Bunch of boards. Get the money. That is a lot of chickens. Yeah, birth rate 4 per year. We're already getting eggs. We're already getting more waste. And they're getting a little sun damage. That sucks. That's okay, though. We'll move that up. 202 turnips. That's not good. All right, well, this is chicken food anyway. That's a lot of it, though. We just need to make sure we have a feed for the winter. All right, bump up the well. And this is just going to have to be, you know, a thing. It's more the principle. It's like it protects you from bears. It protects you from a lot of things. So, because these bears are out here and they're jerks. Okay, wood production is definitely ramping up. Yeah, 333 last year. It's going to go up to 400 for sure. It's a really good setup. Just make sure we didn't make any mistakes over here. Yep, 18 by 12. Perfect. We can expand all of these out. This will be expanded out to 12 by 24. There's a 2-tile gap, a place for orchards. And I really want to start getting up the arborist, to be quite honest. And we're doing 15 by 15s for cows. Okay, so the road goes all the way to the edge here. That's where it stops. And the first cow area is, yeah, 14 down. Alright, so we're going to have, let's just get it up. It's a lot easier when you have something up to know what the hell you're doing. That's a goat barn. We're not going to do goats. Goats are great for the arid highlands and stuff. Okay. So we have a cow barn, and a cow barn. And we need to move this gent. Oh, crap. I'm just going to move it down here. It can come up into this area. Oh, that is a lot of boards. We don't need to make all of these, mind you. We just need to get them up. There we go. Road. I think getting the trees going now would be really, really smart. Okay. And so these areas up over here are going to be 15 tiles wide. And that is so that we can have our cows and all our trees. The walls will start at the 16th slot. Again, just measure it, you know. Humor yourself. All right, yeah, 15. Perfect. And these walls start down all the way over here. Oh, dang, we got infinite iron down there, too. Well, we are just very happy campers. There we go. This will also help us protect our crops, and it will help us protect our animals from those darn bears. There we go. Get this last part up. Oh, we're right there. There we go. Okay. That wall will be very valuable to us. We got infinite sand down here, too. We may have to have the cow, like a little bit of a loss on the cow area for that sand, but it'll be worth it. If we even need it, to be honest, we have a lot of sand right there, 9,000. It's pretty hard to go through that much sand, but you never know. Okay, and then this area over here, we're going to get this going with just the basics. And this will also bring in a lot more food for us. We're for sure going to need way more root cellars than what we have currently. Let's just preemptively get one of those up. We need to terraform a small spot. Nice. And we got our next tower up. Alright. More crops ready for assignment. We're doing great. Once all of these things get kind of aligned, we can start doing crop rotations on them. It did take a bit of workers from us, but it's going to all pan out. Let's get ourselves another root cellar up, or two. Alright, predators are attacking. We're also going to have windmills and granary storage all down here in this corner. That way we have storage next to all of the animals and also keep the windmills away from this area. Nice, 31 people have graduated. The bear is coming in. Yeah, it's another reason why we need to get more towers up. I think we're going to actually get this tower up because we do have bears coming in now. And the bears are kind of terrorizing the neighborhood. Can't have that. Alright, and this corner does have double gates. Also going to get up a tower over here. We need to protect our area. We also need to ramp up our defenses substantially. So we're going to get a tower up here on top. I like to keep them in pairs, so they're a little bit better. Ooh, one from a villagers, one from a... yeah, that bear is a jerk. Got jerk bears everywhere. Alright, let's see what the trader has for us. Not a whole lot, but he will potentially... Someone in the future will buy some of this stuff. Let's throw some more boards into trade. Nice, got a bunch of shoes. Got a bunch of soap. Alright, we got 2 points. I think getting to tier 3 and getting a brick maker is pretty important right now. We do want a glass blowing. Steel tools will be something we do down the road. Oof, we need to kind of take a step back here for just 1 second. 30% recovery rate from festering wounds. It's pretty sweet. Upgrading to the trade center is exactly what we want to do. Yeah, if we can upgrade the trade center with 60 bricks, we actually don't even need to hit tier 3 to do that, but we need 150 pop, and we're almost there, so, and 3,000 gold. Might be cheaper just to do the bricks, because I think we can actually do glass making right now. We don't even have to hit tier 3, so the glass maker is going to go over here. Need to terraform an area out over here. And I think this is a choose-your-own-adventure setup, like I said. So we're going to have a road going down right there. Villager got worms. Yay, worms. But we'll get our fertilities up pretty good. This will be a good chunk of food. Hopefully give us a nice new wave of immigrants. Also, getting to tier 3 will help us get the next step in housing. We're going to need pottery or candles. Now, I need to get up a bunch of stuff. Terraforming kind of did set us back in a lot of ways. I feel like I'm struggling a lot more than when I played my organic build. Alright, we got a stupid deer over here.
Done.
I'm gonna kill that deer. There we go. Deer is gone. We'll get this all enclosed at some point. Probably better now to do that. Start getting the walls up. Make it harder for them to get in. Alright, start getting this area up over here. 10 tile gap. Perfect. Alright, glass maker over here. Just need 155 bricks and 15 iron. Yeah, you know, I actually don't know. Probably making our own bricks is wise. 3,000 gold is not much, and having the ability to do a lot of those things is going to be to our advantage. We have more sand there, too, and more sand over here, and gold. Oh, yeah. Realistically, what's hurting us right now is just the lack of population. We got coal coming in. We got a big chunk of coal over here, 5,800. All right, the year 47. Hopefully we can make some strides here. Still a little hard. All right, we're gonna move the hunter cabin over here and move the well as well. Oh, nice. We have our stone deposit out here, pretty close. This is gonna be pretty vital to us. Be one of the things we get. So right now we need to focus on just a population boom, essentially. And everything's pretty maxed out. Alright, let's see if we can get that 3 grand we need, because we are at 150 pop. I think we're there. I think we're going to hit that tier 3 and start making our own bricks. There we go, 3,600. And let's see what else we have for sale. We can do a little bit more soap. But boom, upgrade to tier 3. Perfect. So we will need to terraform an area out here for the brickyard. Also make sure that we have 2 individuals in the wagon shop. We're going to need another wagon, most likely. We have a lot of things moving around. And the chickens, look at that, 183 eggs. We haven't quite filled up yet. Once we hit 24, though, for 2 people, that is a good chunk of food once the meat starts coming in, too. It is a lot of food. Nice, 5 chickens were born. We're getting close, 20 out of 24. Alright, we got a knowledge point. I'm trying to actually think what I want to do here. Part of me is thinking going for the birth rate and just waiting waiting it out, but part of me hates the children because they take so freaking long. The candles would be smart. 15% mining speed, not quite there yet. The majority of the issues we have is just trying to keep the population alive and try to keep people coming in. Commerce negotiating is not bad, you get a little bit more. Barrel making would be smart. 20% carry capacity for wagons, that's smart too. 40% honey production and apiaries. A lot of this is great. Yeah. Let's focus on crops. Getting into grain. I think that's probably our best bet. So we're going to go the grain route now. Food focus will help us out tremendously. We need 200 clay. Very good. Start getting apiaries up. We can really place them anywhere that we want. Let's try to make sure that we're not intersecting too much. I try to keep it kind of low. 81. Well, it won't tell me until these things are fully up. You know, and to be honest, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, try not to cross them too many times. I think that will do right there. That's good enough. We'll get a little bit going. Get a candle maker up. And the reason I put them around my farms is because the farmers are the ones who pick it up. I don't. So it's like you put your apiaries all the way out over here. You're going to have random farmers going out there, which means you're going to need more farmers on your fields. Like, it just screws everything up. You keep everything close together, and it gives you that good synergy. That's the reason I do all that stuff. It's the synergy bonuses. All right. Yay! Look at that. They want us to build a theater to attract more people. I agree with them. It is a dull place, but you know what? It's our dull place. Probably a temple would be really wise at this point. 13 people. There we go. Okay. Yeah, getting the tier 3 helped. 1,200 and 100 boards. Okay, we're going to get the temple up. Now, the temple goes right here. Or, sorry, actually, the temple goes on the top part. And the theater goes down there. But that is a pretty big cost, actually. The pub would be good once we get alcohol production going. Yeah, 15 monthly costs. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. So let's focus on getting the tier 3 housing first. And we have our brickyard area up now. Let's place that over here. Bingo. Prioritize this. And let's see. Do I have any... Hopefully I have some boards for... Yeah, we need to pull a bunch of boards back just for a little bit. Okay, we have another knowledge point. 20% yields. Let's do that one. We're not ready for grain quite yet. So let's do increased yields. Oh, we forgot to pull that back. Turnips here. Do it like that. That's good. Alright, we're in good shape. Alright, foundry seems to be probably the next thing we want to get up. We need to start terraforming this area out over here. And this area. Get the blacksmith and all that stuff up right here. Alright, brickyard going. Housing is starting to become the main issue. It's probably in our interest to get our next market up. This is the rapid expansion phase. Things are just going to really start taking off for us. Alright. Get a couple folk in the candle shop. Get the bricks rolling in. We're just going to kind of slow boat for just a tad bit here. 4 people getting coal. 4 people on clay. Gonna take just a little bit, but if we can get the glass maker up and we can get our trade upgraded, we're gonna be very wealthy. Okay, at this point we're gonna fast forward just a tad bit so you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing. This is probably gonna be about 1 or 2 hours we fast forward because we just need to build up our industry here. And realistically, you don't need to rush this. Like, take your time, enjoy it, right? I always feel the need to rush things when I'm recording it, and I think it's better just to go slow and accumulate the resources naturally. This game is kind of chill that way. It's not a fast-paced, like, you know, real-time strategy game, even with the ×5 mode. But I will show you, before we fast forward, what we're going to do down here. So we are going to get the 3rd barn up right here. Turn that off. Okay. And then the road goes down to this point. Okay. Yeah. Road goes down to that point. Right across here. You could actually just completely throw that out too. You want to fit more. And it'd probably be wise. We're going to have a bunch of windmills down here. This bottom area. Windmills. And then all the storage right here. So we could have probably about 4 windmills in this whole area. All the arborists are going to come up here. We can get those up actually. So we're going to have 3 in total here. It takes a bit of clay and it takes a bit of board. So we're just going to do 1 for now. But there'll be a total of 3. And we're going to line this whole area here with trees. This area is going to be beautiful. Like all of our bread production here. All of our bakeries up here. Let's see what this trader has. Okay, they're buying boards. We're going to do it. So money becomes the big thing. So we're doing coal. We're doing all this jazz. So we're going to build our economy up. And our economy is primarily going to be glass. Glass and coal and anything we can sell that is a raw material that's going to generate heavy cash flows. You can sell raw resources. I never do. We're going to keep our boards because we're going to need them for our upgrades. So let's fast forward. Welcome back. We only skipped ahead about maybe an hour and a half. Big things that we got up are the glassmaker, the blacksmith, and the foundry. We have sand, Iron. Coal coming in. Got bricks being made. I reorganized all this stuff. We got up a large park and a temple. And now I am working on some of the decorations, which are listed in the design. It is the small gardens and flower urns. And you can replace the small gardens for flower urns if you want to get to tier 5. I don't think we're going to have any issues. We have all these 2-tile gaps. We have the garden trails all along the bottom here. And so we're just going to focus our money, and we're going to focus on getting all of these houses to tier 3 before we expand any further, to be quite honest. We have 3 more residential areas, but I think our best bet's doing this. And so we have the candle maker going. And realistically, the biggest issue we have is I just have a lot of kids. We have 136 of 225 fit to work. So essentially what we're waiting for is for those children to become adolescent, and then they can contribute to the economy. But I also did expand all the fields to 12 by 12s, except for these guys, which are still in motion. So we're bringing in a good chunk of food. And we also got the second chicken coop up over here. So we got 2 chicken coops now. And once those are full, we're going to be in good shape. We got ourselves 2 smokehouses now, so that's going to help out substantially. And I'm trying to think. What else can we do back here? Yeah, it looks like I can move this well right back into the slot here. So I'm going to do that. And we have our 2 storehouses right yonder. But other than that, everything is going according to plan. So we just need to keep getting the defenses up. So let's get all these gates up that we can. We did also add a couple more people to the towers. We're still continuing to feed individuals there. This will be closed off at some point in the future when we get through that clay. Over here, we're going to have all of our windmills, and we're going to get into some pretty heavy farming here momentarily. Oof, fire. Okay. So we've been selling a lot of glass and, you know, everything else that we possibly can. Shoes. Sometimes herbs. Primarily, we're going to... Oh, yes. So, pubs are back on the menu now. They reduced the drunken killing spree that was happening forever. And pubs generate insane amounts of wealth. So this one pub, you can see, hits a lot of areas. I would say you just have one pub on each side, to be quite honest. So we're going to place a pub here, but that's not where I want to put it in the grand scheme of things. So let's slap that down. Let's also get up that brewer. We also need to get a paper mill up. So paper mill is going to go up over here. Kind of just put the things I don't care about, like bricks and all that, in this little area that doesn't have really good roads. Alright, here's the brewer. Now the brewer doesn't have any penalties, so the brewer can come over into this area here. We're going to place the brewer... Alright, so yeah, the theater is going to go right here. So the brewer can go right here, I think is a beautiful spot for it. Won't be crazy efficient, but it'll be good enough. Now, it probably would be to our advantage to start thinking about the future a little bit. So we do need to get up the granaries. Put 2 granaries in the design over here. And this is a bit of a distance for them to travel all the way to the brewer. So, okay, let's actually rethink this. Maybe the brewer actually would be better off over here. We might be able to get some good dead space. Yeah, we do have the gap right there. Okay. We're going to have the brewer right under the 3 arborists. So we're going to get a lot of fruits going over here at some point. And I'm going to put a brewer right underneath all this. And then the rest of it's going to be storage and windmills. And I think that's a good combination. And I think one brewer can probably do it. It's a great spot for it. It's a really good spot for it. Okay. Pub is up. That's going to help us with entertainment, make people a bit happier. It's also going to bring in some cash. So this gent right here is going to buy all my shoes that I have for sale. And it does not appear that he has anything else that I really want. I guess we're just going to let him go. Then I'm going to take that money, and I think we have, you know, purchased a lot of decoration. Glassware is pretty darn important to this build. We're making lots of money with it. Even though they nerfed it, it doesn't sell for as much as it used to, but it still sells quite a bit. We got tool production, heavy tools, and if you look at the tech tree, we did go a little, you know, crazy over here. So this advanced metal casting, I think, the 30% durability is going to make this a lot more effective for us. Only... No, actually, everybody has tools now. I did purchase around 50 tools to get, you know, a basis going. And I also have capped how many tools I'm making at 50 at any given time. Down here, no cap, of course. And let's boot up 2 more people into the... Actually, let's go all in on the foundry. 4 children have grown up. So at this stage of the game, you're kind of just wrestling with time. And you're just waiting for all those kids to grow up. You could expand more houses, but like I said, I really do think the money is going to be in getting these houses up to tier 3. So right now we just need a little bit more desirability. And we can do that in a lot of ways. We could upgrade these for 50 gold and 25 bricks. Nice, 11 people. So I did just take in some people. So I need to upgrade some of these houses ASAP. Yeah, we have a good thing going here. We could upgrade the festival pole for 650. That's a good one. And the 2-tile buffer down here is really good for just throwing in random things like a flagpole, right? We're going to need to get some flax up at some point, but 1% really isn't going to do it for us. We got our small gardens going in behind all this area here. That's going to add a lot of desirability for us. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right, we got a few over here that are tier 3 now. Very good. We need to get more tier 3s, though. And we're very, very close. So let me try to think of what I could do over here. Well, that is, you know, one cool thing about the shrine. And one of the reasons why I had a shrine in the design. We are going to remove this end piece and replace it with a shrine eventually. Yeah, a small statue and even a medium statue would work. And those can go up in here. You can place these anywhere you want. I'm not going to tell you where to place these in your design. I'm just going to place, you know, main building. So we do have a shrine right here hitting everybody. That's great. I did move the rat catcher so that it hit all of the markets. So that's good too. Yeah, I think garden, get the garden trails all up. Upgrading these might be a really good move too, because they're going to hit a lot of houses. There we go. These guys are good. We're going to upgrade all these end pieces over here as well. It's going to cost us a bit, but... And then I guess we should just start dotting the flower urns. So most of this is just going to be bricks, iron, and money. And that's going to get a lot of these houses up. We need to do it fast before they freeze to death. And money is going to become the bottleneck at this point. But as these houses go up, you can see we're starting to make a bit more money. Once we get the pub going, that's also going to be huge for us. There we go, the pub. So now it's time to start doing a little bit of crop rotation. So we're going to just do one. Honestly, this one grain is going to be more than enough. That's the crazy thing. And I think what we'll do over here is do this. And it's kind of wacky, but it's going to work. And the heat tolerance on buckwheat is amazing. Okay. That's like more than enough grain for what we need. I'm going to be on, like, we'll mess with some of the stuff later. I'm just trying to get all the fertility up, and we're doing a good job. And this gentleman over here, though, we're going to switch out for beans. And I kind of just roll with this until one of them gets a disease, and then I'll do crop rotation here soon. Buckwheat, beans, peas. Okay. That does present some issues. Let's do leeks here. Gonna hurt, but whatever. Switch it out later. Definitely want to upgrade all of our root cellars. Our spoilage is pretty darn high. We also want to get into barrels and get a cooper. So now that we have iron and we have lots of planks, getting a cooper is definitely a good move. Okay, tier 3 storage is the cooper. And we'll place him... Guess we'll place him over here. Alright, look at that. Lightning hit. We just gotta wait for the bricks. And we're doing pretty decent. Nice, we got the farms going. Very good. We put that down to 6. Boot this down to 6. We're in good shape. Alright, we got a lot of work to do here. The weeds will just naturally kind of go down over time, to be quite honest. So just keep you guys going. Just keep an eye on it. And eventually these are going to be 12 by 24s, but this is going to be good enough for just a bit. Got our next trader coming in. Okay. And we have no one over here. We're missing some people. We definitely want at least 2 people in each. And remember, like I said, once you upgrade these, you'll get the full area. It's actually perfect the way that it does it. It's really efficient. Okay. And so we have 86 glass we can sell. We could sell bricks, but we're never going to do that. I could buy some barrels to get us started. Not really sure how I feel about that. It's not a bad idea. Alright, the Cooper is going. Awesome. So he's just going to start, and, you know, it's just 5 planks and a couple iron per. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Wouldn't be a bad thing. Alright. Okay, we're getting a lot of tier 3 houses now. There we go. That's very good. And then over here, kind of the same story, right? Just need to terraform this so I can get the garden trails down. Alright, here comes another wagon. Nice. Let's sell this glass. 742. That's kind of why I think buying barrels is nice, because when you look at the Cooper and how long it takes, like just being able to buy 25 barrels, just have it done. It really helps out. And I think we should probably just set a limit on barrels. I don't know if it will count barrels in a building or barrels in stock. So let's just do 10. If it doesn't stop it, then that means that's perfect. Because we don't need a whole lot of excess barrels. Okay, what's the second guy? Oh, he's buying my honey. We're going to need a lot of that honey for booze. But it's always good. Alright, we bought a bunch of crude weapons. I do need to get something for the temple, but meat is not what I'm really interested in. But the amount of husbandry we're going to have, it only works for hunting camps, so not very beneficial. So we just need a little bit of grain over here. We got the booze going. And we got the pub going. That's going to be huge money coming in. And the entertainment bonus is really, really nice. And we're going to have 2 healer huts in the design. One each here. This is a pretty good radius. I actually included this on the design. Some stuff I will include on the design because it is location specific. And some stuff I won't, because it's just kind of my choose your own adventure style. Oh boy. Yeah, we need a lot more people bringing in iron. Oh, nice. Another trader. All right, we have a bit of baskets. We did make some baskets earlier. Keep buying willow to make baskets. That's a good one right there. 4,000. We're not rich enough for it yet. I'm just glad I don't have to buy tools and that we're producing our own iron now. We're in really good shape, to be quite honest. This is the stage where things just start going your way. But the big holdback, like I said, yeah, there we go. We have enough desirability for tier 4 here already, and we haven't even upgraded anything. This doesn't, yeah, so this is definitely going to get you to tier 5. We're not even trying. We're already at tier 4. Here we go. Get all those bad boys in. 10 stone, 25 gold. Nice. Sell some soap. Nice. Buy sand. I love buying sand. A couple hundred sand goes makes quite a bit of money. I'm going to buy it. Can't have that glassware stop. Crops lost to animal. 43 leaks. Okay. We do have a jerk over here. Kill the deer. There he is. There's the culprit. I need to get this area all wrapped up too. So let's get that done as well. We'll get some stone out of it. And that's 15 tiles from this side. Here we go. This is the edge. Perfect. Yeah, we just need to get that up. Make it harder for them. Eventually, we probably won't screw around with hunters too much if we have enough barns. Need to gather a little bit of stone to finish off those garden trails. Nice. Clay's doing really well. Looks like we're just keeping up with tool production, so that's great. No, right when I say that. Like, you are screwed. It's like, oh, cool. Nice. We got the paper mill. Alright, so we got to do a little bit of flax fiber now. And what's kind of interesting about that is you can kind of spice it up like this. I feel like this has a lot of fertility, but that's really bad because I'm doing the grain on this one. So I'll get a proper rotation here in a little bit. We're not quite at the stage where I have to worry too much about that. Alright, cool. Yeah, we're going to switch out leeks for this. And we have plenty of food. I'm pretty good about this. Let's add in a dude to help with the weeds. Same thing down here. Start working on weeds. There we go. Very good. And we're going to need one more. Wow. We should probably just actually upgrade these bad boys. 250 gold. Yeah, let's just upgrade these instead. That will give us more room. And less rot. Let's also start putting more points over here. So drought resistance is good. 20% yield on grain is good. Actually, it looks like we've kind of done all we can over here. That sucks. I could increase non-meat yields. 10 meat from cows. That's a good one. Intensive animal farming. That's pretty sweet. But these are all really good. But I don't think it's going to help us out too much. So maybe we get the upgraded research station. 20% work area of the rat catcher. I actually want that because I need to see what that radius is. Well, it's a little bit bigger. I don't know if it's crazy 20%, but yeah, that's a good one to know. Keep that disease down. All right, we just have 2 people that we don't have houses for. I think we're going to get those houses soon. Look at that. We can upgrade one of our root cellars now. So money really does become the main bottleneck. So it's important to have some good trade. And once we get a little bit more people in here, I'll be able to increase that too. And our farming's working. We don't have any rot. So my old ratios of 3 per 72 square tiles is fine. So 12 by 12 is 6 people. You don't need 8. That's why I keep everything together. That's why I keep all my apiaries in the same place. Because the farmers go and gather that stuff. So just keep it all localized and it'll be much better for you. You get away with a lot fewer workers. Alright, new trader. Let's sell him some soap. Looks like we got some glass. Gonna tell him to put all the glass in there for a bit. We got a couple more barrels, heavy tools, no light tools. I probably want to buy some more tools if I can. And it looks like we hit our... Ooh. Put a person in there. Looks like we hit our cap. So that's going to start bringing in some good meat. Oh shit, and we're about to get attacked. Alright, we should definitely make sure that all of our towers have 2 individuals in them now. We're at a really good population. Alright, here they come. Oh, these are ants. Boom. Okay. They've broken in. That's why I kind of like the walls, because you can see it slightly staggers them just enough. When they started hitting you in bulk, it really all starts adding up. The more you can stagger the enemy, the better. But they broke my gate. Not cool. Okay. And that's why these corner towers down here are important. Once they break in. Now, they may hit some of the stuff down here, like the pantries, but that's okay. And you can always bring the pantries in if you want them a little bit better defended. And, yeah, you can see that we're doing insane amounts of damage because of the terrain modifier. There we go. And that's why I like these corner towers. Once we can upgrade these lookout towers to hit in here, it's even more powerful. They stole a little bit of meat, but that's alright. We'll kill most of them and get it back. Oh yeah. Yeah, they didn't stand a chance. This was a little bit more than I think they knew. There we go. Killing a bunch of them. Villager had died from old age. Oh, that's cool. Alright. Well, that was it. Very good. Okay, let's sell this glassware at 13. 637. Not bad. Start throwing a little bit of this back in. We need stone, so I'll probably start purchasing stone again. I tend to purchase all the stone I physically can. Okay, I only got 3 walls that they destroyed. Nice. 8 people want to join? I'm going to take them. They can sleep on the streets, but they'll help us out. We have a lot of places that we need to fill. Alright, we're making booze. The pub is finally going. Making 6 right now, but that's going to go up over time. We got another wave of enemies coming in. Not sure where they are. Alright, they're gone now. We killed 27. They didn't take anything and they didn't hurt anybody, so that's good. Oh, that's what we want right there. I had 100, 3,100. Alright, well, we're going to start getting our economy back up. We just need one good flax yield. Nice, look at that, all the barrels. Our food's gonna last a lot longer. Let's keep upgrading our root cellars as we can. Alright, look at all those kids growing up. Housing shortage, I got you. We're doing great now, though. 18 people in the laborers. We're gonna need quite a bit of laborers, but we have a lot of stone needs. There we go. Some of the other houses are upgrading now. Nice. Really nice to have 2 upgraded. That's a max of 2,500 versus 15, so that's an extra grand. Plus the reduced spoilage. And then barrels on top of that for reduced spoilage. I think our food's going to last us a lot longer. There we go. I think once we get this up, that's going to get us pretty darn close. Oh, we're right there. Yeah, there we go. That is another tier 3 house there. All these are going to be ready for tier 3, with just the garden trails. Awesome. Yeah, we need a lot of stone for the decorations. That's going to be a problem. There we are. 14 months food and 4 expiring. That's exactly where we want to be. We can start selling alcohol here too. Alcohol is a wonderful trade item. We're going to bump that all the way up to maximum alcohol. And we're going to start trading it. So we'll just keep enough for them to put into the pub. But I want to start making a lot of money here now. And it looks like we're running out of coal. We might need to increase coal production quite substantially. And we may actually just want to make it ourselves. So this is one of the stages that's a little tough. Get 2 more firewood splitters up. Get a road going down this way up. We got the paper mill going now. So that, yeah, we're gaining knowledge very quickly again. That's good. So let's start getting into coal production. And we're going to need a little stone. Nice. Got a little bit of money over here. Let's upgrade this guy too. And I like the way these housing areas look. They're pretty strong. Year 57. Now I do want to also upgrade my storage, as we're going to start bulking up and running out of room. Oh yeah. Alright, let's make sure these guys are maxed out. And we're going to change the cap on firewood to 2,000. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not. Well, it might be just a little crazy. Alright, and then the charcoal right here. I think it's great. Should be enough room. I think it's 4 tile. Let's just leave enough for a 5x5 area there. The infinite iron. Nice. Get a little bit of stone. Hopefully I can buy some stone here soon. Ooh, look at that. The boot, like, we just had all the booze we put in was 50. We just made 150 booze in that time. Alcohol is just amazing for trade. It really is. And we can buy raw iron to help us out. This really does help out when you think about it, because we just sold booze. And we could buy several hundred iron for that. We're going to hold off. Tools. Let's buy tools. I really need to make sure that we are at maximum productivity here. I know it's not a whole lot, but I think it's going to help. I had 10 more animals born. Very good. 214 eggs. Another 200. That's 400 eggs and like several hundred meat per year just off those 2 coops. It's really good. That's a really good rate of return. We come over here and we look at what's spoiling. It's meat and it's the eggs and meat that are spoiling. That's good. Vegetables spoiling en masse. Fruit, surprisingly, we're eating a good portion, and usually it's the reverse. Dairy, milk, and cheese. I don't remember having any. Food per farmer is 258. That's pretty decent. Oh shit. What did we do? Oh, okay. Yeah, we should probably put those at the beginning of the year. I'll mix that up here in a second. Okay. We got grain, we got flax, we got everything going on. Got a big old mound of paper. We're getting tech points again. So let's see what we can do to help our situation out. Keep these people healthy. Good upgrade to School of Thought. That's a smart move. But we don't have the people for it. Bookbinding is also smart. 10% merchant sell prices at trading posts. I think just makes it cheaper for us to buy things by 10%. Not necessarily... Actually, that's really good, because we're mass buying, especially as we mass buy resources. It's going to really help us out. So let's sell all this booze for 700. Sell all this glassware over here for 455. Let's see what this guy has for us. Soldiers upkeep reduced. Yeah, we need that. We're still very poor. Yeah, see that's not bad. This is a really high price for tools, but I'm going to do it. Like I said, I just really want us to get ahead of the game here. And we're going to start making crossbows, of course. And we need to go to our policies, because now that we're making crossbows, we need to enable it for everybody. So munitions distribution, hunter and guards can use crossbows. You want that on. And there's a few that we could do here. Villagers consume 50% less food, but are unhappy. And overseeding crop yield by 25%, but fertility reduction is negative 25%. Production 20%, but happiness negative 10. Injuries 30% increase. I like that. Let's do that. Let's extend the shifts for a bit and just get some nice production in. Nice, 13 people. We're going to take them. Our streets are kind of overflowing now. But I'm just going to let I'm just going to let people naturally die off and the houses upgrade to kind of fill the gap there. Nice, 946 fiber. We need to start making shirts. Alright, let's get the weaver up. I'm going to do that. Oh, almost. Alright, we'll just do it over here. Get some more storage over here. I'll probably get a specific storehouse right over here, since the paper is over here. And just fill it full of flax. Not a bad idea. You could also do storage depots right here. These are pretty cool. They're just like a little thinner, and you can fit them in places like here. So we could fit a bunch of them in here. We fit 2 in here, actually. That's really cool. Let's do that. Get 2 of those up. Sell that glass. Another 180. Oh, wow. 184 booze. Yeah, alcohol is going to be awesome. May need to get some more apiaries up to keep pumping out honey. Make sure that that's in good order. We do not want to run out. This gravy train is going to get us pretty darn far. So let's keep it going. And this is how I do it. You usually lose about like 10 to 15%, but you can stack a bunch of them this way, and like I said, it keeps it so your farmers aren't going crazy. Find it pretty valuable. Okay, hopefully we can get that booze before he goes, but it's 18 days. Get 4 people in the trade post. Doing laundry? What the? Trying to make some money. Alright, 930. Yeah, it's not bad. I could buy more. Okay, we have 44 tools. I think we're good now. I could buy more barrels. I'm going to do that. But boom. Making our food last as long as possible, I think, is a really good idea. We have a lot of spoilage, so. And I think we bought so many that it's going to start bleeding over into the marketplaces now. Make sure we have at least 2 people per market square. That's 1 person per 8 houses, which I don't think is very good, but we'll increase that as our population explodes. Okay, and now we need to put a quota on crossbows. We're going to do 40. I think we're going to put this at a 2 ratio, but no, put this at a 3 ratio, 7 ratio, and 1 ratio. I still want him to make bow, but not all the time. Let's put 4 people in there. Get that thing cranking. Okay, soap shop, that needs to be pumped up. Candle shop, that needs to be maxed out. The weaver's still going. We still have, it looks like we still have willow. Cobbler, I'm feeling pretty good with just the 1. Don't put food in here. And these things can hold. That's what's kind of cool about these guys. They're, 800, but you can, that's 1600 versus 2000. So it's terrible for space efficiency, but it's just kind of cool because you can place them in a smaller area, though. They can't hold much. That kind of sucks. Let us upgrade this storehouse right here. We'll definitely want to get a vault, too, in the design. Okay. Now, I'm feeling like we're going to need another root cellar. Slope is too steep. Well, let's fix that. Still have a big old chunk of stone up here, too. Well, I think the pub is definitely helping out. Our entertainment is sky high now, and that's really good. We need more luxury goods, so I'll keep working on that. I think the candle production is about to really pick up, so that's good. Alright, here we go. 800 from herbs, not bad. We already bought some crossbows a while back. I need someone who will sell me stone. Look at that, 576 beer. That is amazing. There's a lot of hooch. I'm going to keep the rest of our... I guess we can pull some of the herbs. Our honey's starting to go down, though. We had 300, so we just got a bunch of these guys up. Items produced last year, 3 and 1. 8 and 3. Yeah, these are brand new, that's why. 9 and 4. So these are the old ones. So you can see even though they're overlapping each other, they're still making quite a bit of honey. Trick is to not do too much overlapping, but you can get away with a little. Don't be too freaked out. Yeah, and these ones are brand new. They were only up for half the year. That's why they say that. We got bean diseases. Okay. Well, we got to get rid of that. And we got a high fertility here. Do carrots. No, crap. We can't do carrots. Well, we could do cabbage. Here we go. Yeah, cabbage it is. I don't know. It won't let me move it is the thing that's kind of annoying. Do a little bit of cabbage. New trader. Gilder's coin purse. Very good. Selling sand at 3. We have a good amount of sand, so we don't need to do that right now. And, yep, no one is selling stone. Oh, here we go. This guy. Oh, that's really expensive for stone. We desperately need it, though, so I'm going to have to buy it, unfortunately. Board production's low. I think we're going to start putting some points into board production. Come over here. Yeah, 20% to produce woodworking. Firewood splitter can be upgraded. Saw pit can be upgraded to sawmill. I want that, too. I want that bad. Alright, so woodworking is going to be our next goal. But that right there will help out a lot. 20% more boards. We got lots of wood. Alright, and coal is going pretty strong. Let's pump that up. Nice. We got a little bit of stone now. I'm going to upgrade some of these wells over here. See, we're running out of water. Throw all my money into the trade post. And we're going to buy the rest of the stone. I know it's very pricey. But we don't really have too much of an option because our workforce is so spread out right now. We have 26 people mining. And that's kind of why I like to buy raw resources for that reason. There we go. Pump on that coal into the air. All that fire, all that burning firewood. I'm gonna move the shrine. Oh, I can't move the shrine. Why I had the shrine in the design down here, though, is it helps keep spirituality coverage, and it does really well. I need to put a bakery here, though. That's the thing. Or at least right here. We'll put a bakery there, I guess. Alright, 13 people. You're in. 65 cabbage lost to rot. Well, that sucks. Oh, that's because we didn't get it started properly. Alright. Crops lost to frost. 100 wheat. Not bad. Well, the people are breaking down the doors to get in here now. I really don't want to keep expanding quite yet, but I guess I should? Oof. This is a toughie. I want the money. So, you know me. I like my money. Alright. I need to terraform this area out, and I'm going to break all my rules. All my vows have been broken. We're going to get up in another area. We have way too many people. I can't lose that many people. It would break us. And it's also a lot of money. 840. Throw that all into the town. There we go. And let's make sure we're moving stuff over. Right? Alright, we have some shirts being produced now, I believe. 421 hooch. I'm going to throw all the booze. The pub is at 8. Yeah, we're going to start selling it. Look at that. That is beautiful. Place is coming together. Definitely going to get up one more root cellar over here. Oh my god. 5 people froze to death. I did not get those houses up fast enough. Ugh. I should have got a temp place up. Oops. Sorry about that, Jerry. I don't know what your name is. You're all Jerry's to me now. Boom. Okay. We're going to destroy this wall. It's messing up the terraforming. Sometimes it's best to put your buildings down and then put up your walls. It gets a little weird sometimes. Alright. Please buy my hooch. Yay, he's buying all my bows. Nice. And see how many tools we've produced now? We're at a good equilibrium. Coal is another story. Raw iron is another story. I'm actually going to buy a good chunk of iron right now. Just to keep us flowing. We have a lot of iron needs. A little bit of soap might be a good sell. Yeah, not bad. I think we're okay on coal. 89 produced last year? What the heck? Dang. They really hate, I guess. Yeah. They used to be a bit better. There we go, 92. We probably need to put some research points into mining speed, actually, now that I think about it. We have a lot of mines. A lot of resources we were missing out on. Alright, sell some hooch. Sell some soap. I think we're in good shape. Alright, new trader. We got... Man, nothing really good, but he is buying glass. We need to actually increase that, too. And look at that, our alcohol's already coming back full force. We're going to hold off. Houses are coming up now. There we go. Need to do a little bit more terraforming in this spot over here. Oh, boy. Yeah, these deer will always find a way to piss me off. I think what we're going to end up doing is just putting a temporary fence here. We're not going to seal this off for a little bit of time. Just to keep the deer out. Everything else out. Good enough for me. And I'll just have the hunter come in here and kill everything. And we'll be golden again. Good as the people do scare the deer off if they're close enough. Alright. 1 deer. 2 deer. No deer. Perfect. And we're gonna get raided. Alright, let's get everybody in. Sell this hooch. I like my monies. There we go. We got 2,800. What has he got? Increased duration of shoes, clothing, and coats by 20% for 4,100. That's actually pretty decent. Fortunately, we cannot purchase it yet. That is a goal of mine, though, is to start getting relics. We're just a little poor because my ambitions are so big. But we could start getting statues up, too. So, honestly, getting up a massive statue, like the large one, right here even. Yeah, where the trader is. Up here would be a beautiful spot. We have parks there. Dang, look how far it goes. Even up here it hits all those houses. I'm trying to think of how I could reshape some of this stuff, but it's a little difficult. And yeah, the theater is going to go there. But you can see the further away it is, the less of a bonus they get. That's a lot. Like 4 points. So probably in this area is a better place for it. We'll have to terraform this out and put... I think the bakery is going to go there. This corner right here actually is a beautiful spot for that. This is actually perfect. Oh, it doesn't hit all the guys over here though, that's the thing. Yeah, that's a lot to miss. Really interesting. A lot of houses, but it doesn't have to be perfect. There's a lot of area over here for decorations. Alright, big wave coming in. We're going to need to build a crypt here soon. Got 39 raiders about to hit us. Luckily, we haven't been hit by a real raid in quite some time. 1 villager got it. Okay, so they're going to start coming this direction. We got to be careful. They will try to pick up loot, but as long as our towers are shooting, that will pull their aggro. There we go. Alright, let's speed this up. We definitely need to upgrade these corner towers as well. They might actually get this tower, but we'll find out here in a second. Alright, speed this up just a tad bit. Look at them go. Yeah, they're going to get the corner tower. That's alright. You can see they're taking 20 to 30 damage from these dudes up top. Alright, here we go. This is where the magic happens. They're going to steal a little bit from my markets. Oh yeah, we just murked like a bunch of them over here. Alright, now they're in range. This is where the pain happens. Boom, boom, boom. Now this whole thing up here is going to be full of towers, so you can just imagine. It is going to shred enemies. Alright, we chased them off. That was pretty good. Few losses, but nothing big. So at this stage, what we need to do is just kind of wait for all of the kids to grow up into adults. We did lose a handful of people. Maybe like 1 or 2. We need to get up this area. We need to get up this area too with houses. You need to accumulate vast sums of stone. Now this typically takes around 4 to 5 hours to get all the stone that you need. and you're just basically going to play the economy. So I've already gone over all the things you need to do. Make a ton of coal, make a ton of booze, make glassware, and literally anything else that you can think of, and just keep selling and selling and selling. We're going to buy relics. We're going to upgrade everything. We're going to buy raw resources. It's just going to be the same thing over and over. I'm going to extend these into 12 by all these into 12 by 24s as my population increases. I'm going to fill this whole back area with 3 apiaries, and in each of these 15 by 15 apiary zones, we're going to have cows. And so we're going to have a ton of cows over here. We're going to have probably 3 to 4 windmills, a ton of granaries to hold everything, and we're just going to keep pumping the stuff out. We'll probably have another wall here that we bust down and place the root cellars. So we lost a little bit to rot because of the war, but that's okay. All right, and welcome back to the third chapter. We have a massive farming area. We're getting our barns out. We need to get some cattle. We have windmills down here, mass storage for granary. We have our crops set up to cycle turnips, clover, peas, clovers, beans, clovers, wheat. 2x2 crop rotation, as you can see here, with the exception that one of the turnip, clover, peas has been switched out to flax on 2 tiles. We can start producing a lot of clothing now, and we are doing so. We're going to up this. We have upgraded, of course, our Grand Academy. We're starting to get out quite a bit. We have paper production, coal production, upgraded firewood splitters, upgraded sawmills. We're pumping out boards. We're making lots of money. And we're going to get ourselves another compost yard. I'm not sure where I want to get this up. See, there's a bit of a negative around here, but for the most part, we've managed to get all our buildings up with no negatives, so we're doing a pretty good job. Probably switch out this wagon shop for something else in the design, so we're going to do that. I'm going to throw this over here. We just got a vault up, so I'm going to move this. I think we're going to put the compost yard right here. That terraformed out a little bit. We have expanded, of course, all of our market areas. We almost have this area over here full. We're at 472. We just need 6,500 to go to tier 4. We do have our bakers up now. So we got bakeries on all sides. So we're doing really well. Just all the basic building blocks of life here going on. Now we do have another point to spend. So I've gone pretty much all in on technology. Now, they did say in the patch that's coming, they are actually going to remove forging and smithing from the tech tree. So these will be things you can do at tier 2. So that's 2 more tech points. They're also going to completely rehaul the tech accumulation speed. They want it to be faster. And so it's going to be really interesting. They're going to be changing a lot of what you're seeing here. But the build itself is still going to be fine. And most likely, I need to start thinking about going into the armory. So Blacksmith Forge can upgrade to a blacksmith workshop. We need to start preparing for war, and we need to start doing quite a bit. And as you can see, the tech tree is going to take some time to fully unlock. But we are getting close, and we do have a little bit of drought tolerance. Cheese production's on the menu once I get cows, so we're just going to hold off on that until we get a good amount of cow. Negative 30 work to produce compost, +1 worker at compost. That's actually a pretty good one, especially with how many farms we have. Negative 10% upkeep costs, conscription, citadels. Oh, we just have so much more to do. So we've pretty much maxed out the tech tree. And I would like to get upgraded towers here shortly. So we're going to go and start upgrading our wall system. I've been attacked a few times, and the fort's holding out really well. We've got the majority of the main towers up now. We have corner towers everywhere. But we still have quite a bit to do. And almost every house is at least desirability tier 4. Some are close to tier 5. We haven't even upgraded many buildings. Have a theater now. Just a lot. Just a whole lot going on here. We also need to get up our second barracks. Alright, get the second barracks up now. And we're going to speed this up. Now, the most beautiful thing is we finally do have a pretty decent pop. Fit to work is 323 out of 472. We're producing lots of children. Have a housing shortages. And the immigration waves are getting quite big, between 20 to 30 at a time. So we had to kind of stop there. But what we're going to do now is just get the last of the housing up so that I can make sure the industry zone isn't going to cause issues. So I just need to continue to terraform this flat. And I figured out you can actually get away with just 3 rat catchers in this design. You can see how I have mine situated here. You're going to have like maybe 1 or 2 houses that don't get hit, but it's going to reduce your costs pretty substantially. And it will hit the majority, if not all, of your food storage and all of your housing. Just like I said, just a couple. You could probably put a 4th one over here and then get the rest of it. Alright, so we have an insane amount of glass for sale. So this is like, what, 6,500? So yeah, once you get your economy set up, things become pretty straightforward in this game. And yeah, he does not have anything I want to purchase. I do want to get cows going. And we're producing enough grain that we can barely process all of it. We're producing like 500 booze per year. Between the 2 pubs, we're making quite a bit off of that. Looks like 24. Not bad. And once we hit tier 4, which we're going to try to do here in a moment, we can really start pulling in those luxury taxes. So the objective now, try to get as much money and get to tier 4. And we have quite a bit for sale. We're going to pump up the boards a bit for sale. Going to pump up coal a little bit for sale. We have a lot of coal coming in now. Flax is pretty lucrative when you can sell it. For some reason, I put tallow in there. Alright, we're producing more shirts now, which means we can sell some of them. I'm keeping all of our baskets since we can't produce them without willow. We're having to purchase willow. Alright, this gentleman over here is buying a ton of coal, a ton of booze, and a ton of boards. Let's make sure he doesn't have anything I want. He does have raw iron. Like I said, I buy a lot of raw resources. It just really helps. Now I have like something like 1,000 something odd ingots, but when we get into producing full plate and, you know, we're going to build the best units in the game, we're going to be really happy we have those things. All right, we're just a little shy now. 139. Yeah, unfortunately, these guys just don't have enough money. There is a policy for that too, where it reduces the cost, it reduces the price of your items, but increases how much gold they have. I don't really like that. I prefer to be patient and just make as much as possible. Okay, we're doing well down here. We can expand as much as we need to. We also could get a second brewer if we feel like it, and we may, to be honest. And we have people dying from old age now. 7 people grew up. So that's pretty cool. We've played so long. We're on year 70. So, yeah, we got some people dying from old age now. Got ourselves another point. And like I said, we're going to just go into the defensive points. So, reinforce, and we'll get the arrow loops up. And confirm. Now, with our barracks, I don't want to do archers because we have just way too many towers, and what we really need is just light infantry. So we're going to fire these archers, and we're just going to go all in on light infantry here. They're a little bit pricier, but we'll keep just building up our infantry. This will help us take out battering rams and catapults and all the things that are really hurting us. Alright, we're going to sell some booze. And as you can see, we're keeping up with our tool production, which is great. I started making swords here now. I'm going to unlock the armory soon, probably next too. We can start making armors. Even though we don't really need it for majority of people, just our soldiers. We need shields though. We can buy stone, and I really want to do that. But realistically, hitting tier 4 is more important. Going to bring in a lot of money. Once we get all these houses to tier 4, it's also going to bring in a lot of people. Now, since our footprint is not expanding anymore, this is a beautiful thing. I don't have to protect more land, really. I'm protecting the same amount of land. So every person that comes in is awesome. And we almost got all these houses out over here. Beautiful. And we're just going to focus on one area at a time. Now, this second step is going to be pretty painful. It does look like we need a well over here for fires. Looks like we have a spot right there that we can put that well in. Always be a little cautious about those fires. I also think we're going to get up to 3 arborists now. Now there's placing for more arborists on this side over here. I don't know if we're even going to need it. It was kind of an overkill in the design, depending upon how they nerf, you know, food mechanics in the future. Get both of those up. We're going to need a lot of boards. And tier 4 is coming real fast. We have 957 iron. Pretty good. And yeah, these houses, when we upgrade, they're going to cost a lot. 30 gold. This is, yeah, tier 4. 30 gold ingots, 12 bricks, 10 wood planks. So we're going to need quite a bit of resources. All right, tier 4 here it is. And we have a little bit of rot going on. I'm going to increase the worker there just by 1. All right, so tier 4. This is going to be pretty nuts. We're going to have a lot of houses going up. It's going to bring in luxury taxes. This is where the money starts to really flow in. And it gets pretty hectic, not going to lie. We don't even have statues up yet. And that's another money sink. All right, and this well over here is running out. It looks like those houses get hit. What I need to do is switch this out. We'll have the compost pile here instead. All right, the houses are starting to come up now. Pushing 500 pop now. All right, now I want to get this up. Walls up. Relocate that. Looks like it says we're having issues with tools, but that doesn't make any sense to me. But I'll look into that in a second. And I want to get this wall piece up. There we go. That one's just a little bit different. All right, we're getting rated by 64. Got ourselves a new merchant. All right, we're going to sell them all these coats. I'm going to change my mind on the planks. We're going to need a lot of planks. So I don't want to lose those. We're not going to buy clay at that cost, but in the future, we probably will start buying clay too. All right, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to throw all the money into the town because we're going to use it for upgrades. And I'm not really concerned about 64 banditos. You see they're going to come in here and hit us from the west side, or my west at least. It looks like we got another group down here. Yeah, these are small fry. So far, no caddies. We do need to start busting out more of the towers. So we have a couple of dead zone because we don't have all of our towers. So that kind of sucks. But most likely, they're going to try to come and steal the good stuff, which is why you have it all centered like this. Okay, here we go. So you can see our towers are doing massive damage. Look, we're just eviscerating them. And they'll steal a little bit from your market stalls, but for the most part, you're going to be killing every one of them. That's pretty awesome right there. Yeah, so we just melted basically everybody here. What's important, though, is that you get these lookout towers on the corners upgraded so that you can hit these kind of like little blind spots in the design. There we go. Melted. Just absolutely melted. Okay, and then the other gents are coming. Oh, here comes the next wave. The next wave's going to be melted as well. Here, they're going to try to get through. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have multiple towers in the design over here, so once that's in play, it's going to be great. Okay, that was pretty much it. The raids really can't take this. It's the lords you have to be worried about with their battering rams and catapults. But very minor damage, just a few wall pieces, really. There we go. And the rest of them are running off. We got a new trader. And he's buying booze. Okay, and what else do I want to sell? I do have some spices that I'm saving for when we have tier 4 housing. And we need to upgrade the temple. That's going to cost 3 grand. We just need to start upgrading a lot of these buildings over here. Now, the relics that I'm using are luxury goods last 20% longer, and soldier upkeep cost reduced by 20%. Those are good ones. Save you lots of money. Alright, one villager has worms. Good to know. Upgrade that. The water tables over here were pretty lousy, so gotta be careful. And let's get this road up. Okay, we killed 54 of them. We got children growing up all the time now, which is beautiful. Population's just going to start skyrocketing. Ooh, we're going through wood pretty quick. 180, that doesn't make any sense. Alright, we have a temp shelter, and we have a well out here to help speed this up. Must have been the war that messed us all up. We gotta be real careful. We are going through quite a bit of wood right now. I mean, we have enough laborers, though, that I could just send them out there to cut things down. Not a terrible idea either. Cut down this whole area over here. And cut down the area up here. Let's just get a bunch of wood coming in. Alright, and let's get that compost yard up. There we go. Yes. Yeah, getting your upgraded trader is pretty darn important. No one's selling... Oh, here's a guy selling cows. We're going to want 3 cows. I've had problems with 2 not breeding in the past, but... we could try. Let's buy as many as we can. Let's pull money in. Yes, sir. Sooner we get those cows going, the better, in my opinion. We're going to bump this out max. We can upgrade the barn now. Alright, well, look at that. We got ourselves good action here now. Get this up real quick. Okay, so like always, we're going to do half apples, half peaches. Alright, there we go. Half apples, half peaches. The reason you do that is they'll harvest every single resource. If you do all apples, you have a small window for 2 people to do it. This basically ensures that they're working optimally and you're getting more food, and also that you're getting food in different periods of time. Pretty sweet. We have a max pop of 535. We're going to start really accelerating. Tier 5 housing is going to expand our population substantially. We're going to need enormous amounts of food. We definitely need to get more than 1 barn going too. So let's get another barn up. Yeah, we have a 0 birth rate. We're going to hold off though. Let's see if I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. But yeah, you typically need 3 or 4 cows for this to work properly. And we can upgrade our bakeries now. Pretty cheap. We're going to upgrade all of them. Start making some pastries. Alright, we have 2 points. So let's just keep going up. We can get stone walls now. We're going to need quite a bit of stone before that's viable. I do want to get the lookout tower next, though. Oh, yeah. Fortification engineering. Pretty good, too. 10% health of all buildings. I like all of this. Alright, we're doing great over here. Months to new discovery 3. Yeah, we're getting tech pretty fast now. Feeling pretty good about all the fruit that's going to start coming in. Okay, so we're going to need either spices or books. I think probably... Books would probably be the easiest thing for us to do. We're going to need all food types. We're going to need cheese, for sure. So we have a spot down here that we can do cheese. That's perfect. Here's the next dude. Yeah, so that's what's going to go down here is the cheese maker. Alright, sell all the coal. 2 grand in coal. Very good. Doesn't appear they have anything that I want. Start selling shirts. Selling candles. Alright, new merchant. Nice. He's buying glassware at 12. That's a pretty good rate for me. 3,400. Barrels. Looks like we need a couple barrels. Let's just buy a handful. We are producing our own, but always good to have more. A little bit more glass. Alright, new trader over here. 3rd trader. We have like 7 grand right now. It's pretty crazy. Got crossbows at the wazoo. And we did start upgrading some of the hunters. Make sure that they have full traps. Should actually upgrade all of our hunters. Or at least a good handful of them. Do not upgrade your foragers. Your foragers suck when you upgrade them. That hunter. And upgrade this hunter. Okay, yeah, those will bring in lots of pelts. Alright, so we got 7,100. And I'm going to throw a big chunk of this into the town. And we're going to start upgrading the temple. And we're going to upgrade the theater. I know it's going to cost a lot of money to do this, but it's worth it. We'll get a huge chunk of desirability. Oh, he's selling stone. Yeah, the next stage of this is going to be upgrading everything to stone. And that's going to be a little intense. You almost don't even need to do it, to be honest. Maybe just the inner area is stone. I think just getting stone roads is a pretty big deal. We're going to let our wood kind of build back up. I feel like we need to make sure we're in good shape here. You can see we already have a few tier 4 housing. So if we want to go the distance, and I know that we do, we're going to have to start getting pastries. And we need preserves. So we do have a lot of glassware. So we need to start preserving food now. And we're going to have to unlock it via the tech tree. So let's see what we can do here. Guild Hall actually would be a good one too. We need to get bookbinding anyway. So bookbinding, Guild Hall, very, very important. We can buy spices though to get to tier 5. Here we go. It's all the way over here above glass. Preservist. Okay. So yeah, Preservist, and then I say Bookbinder, Guild Hall. And the Preservist can go really anywhere. Like to keep it kind of close to where the food is though. Glassware. I guess this is as good a place as any. We'll just put it, we'll put it up here in the design. Upgrade the road here. Feel like we need another well somewhere in the design here. I'll put it right here. In case there's a fire. Alright, 13 more people want to join us. I'll take them. Need more laborers. Oof, we're going through our money real fast. Yeah, we just need a little bit more. Alright, we're keep losing some crops here. I'm gonna switch this up. I'm gonna do this instead. Hopefully we don't get frost. No, that's pretty frost resistance. We should be good. Yeah, we're gonna mix it up. Do that instead. Yeah, and it does look like we're at a standstill. We need to get more cow. Oh yeah, look at that. Tier 2. Now we can get another dude. All villagers have 25% more health. Well, why not, right? That's a good one. A little bit of rot going on. 238 peas. Sometimes the chickens get loose and come in and eat our food. Or the cow. No, we're good. 38 rot's not a whole lot. We need to upgrade these parks too. Those are 1500 a pop. You can see desirability is really easy though. We've already maxed it out pretty much. We just need spices, 4 types of food. And in order to hit 4 types... We have a lot to do actually because I need to get cheese research next too. Ooh. Oh, we got a bear outside. That's the danger of having hunters and forager shacks is you're always susceptible to the darn bears. We also need to get a crypt. 500? Yeah, they can have 2,000 bodies in them. So we're going to put a crypt out here. Alright, look at that. Theater. And that's what's crazy is we're going to be like well above tier 5. We're at tier 5 on everybody right now. These guys over here are above tier 4 and all I've done are like the basic decorations. That's what's crazy. I'm going to hold off on these guys because we just have too many people upgrading right now. Alright, money is the main thing holding us back. Go look at our policies real quick. Okay, our policies did turn off. So markets gain additional 30% tax. Production. Like, we have so much happiness. All this causes, like, a little bit of negative happiness, but it's worth it. Hunters can use crossbows. Lookouts can hold one a guard, but upkeep, that would destroy us. We're not going to do that. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll increase our market. Nice little influx of money there. Get some more houses up. Get some better cash flow coming in. What's great is we're going to start getting a lot of luxury taxes now. And also our population will increase, which is great. Alright, we're doing it. We're making pastries. It's beautiful. We should increase the ratio to like 3 to 1. Maybe even actually 4 to 1. We don't want too many pastries. Alright, yeah, 4 to 1. Bread to pastry ratio. Coolio. Okay, so getting to tier 5 is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to hold off because I want to see that we have every food type there is. Luxury food types, though, are going to generate money for us as luxury taxes. It's just good to get it going. We're going to start burning through some of our glassware, which I don't really like. And the skill that gives you 2% chance to get refunded is pretty tame. Okay, let's see if we can get some money. He does not have anything, of course. I'll have to wait for the next trader. Oh dang, we got a third. It just took a little bit. It says 0 birth rate, but we did get another cow, so you can do it with 2. Be much faster with like at least 4 though, I'll tell you that. And you could get away with not having the festival pole here. Oh yeah, it's only gonna give you a bump right there. Really not that good. He needs to be upgraded to get more, but look at that, we have 99% desirability right here. Crazy. We don't even have statues. I was thinking about putting a statue right here and a statue right over here. It would hit mostly every place there is, but even that's unnecessary. Honestly, right here wouldn't be a bad spot. Look at that. Hits almost everything. 7%. That's amazing. We're going to put a statue right here. It's beautiful. That will get almost everybody to tier 5. Need a little bit more cash. And cheese. Okay, cheese is next. Books and guild hall soon, but cheese first. Okay. Really important we get that food source going. We need as much food variety as possible. Alright, here we go. Cheese man. Let's also get the next barn going. Need 3 barns at least. Let's also check out our stores. Let's see what we got. Lots of flax. Flax isn't an issue. Wax. Honey is like just right there at a good equilibrium. Way too much grain. So that tells me a lot. A lot of flour. Tells me we could be producing a lot more bread. We're going to get one more windmill up. Let's make sure we got 2 people in each of those. We are going to increase this to a 5-to-1 ratio and increase each of these by 1 person. 5-to-1. 3 people. There we go. Finally. Yay, and he's buying glass. I don't really care if he's buying it for low amounts, to be honest. Money is money to me. We just need every dollar we can get right now. Oh, dude, he's buying paper at 4. That's not bad. Let's sell some. Alright, we're going to sell the paper. Need to throw as much money into the town as possible right now. Yeah, we're bringing in lots of grain. We really do need to step up our bread production quite substantially. Ooh, peas, beans, not good. So watch that. Chickens are doing a great job. They're bringing in the eggs, which we need. Let's look at spoilage. Pretty much no meat, all vegetables. They're eating every single thing of fruit we're making. It's actually pretty impressive. Very impressive. Okay, and here we go. Here's the third. Oh, boom. That's great bonuses here, too. We'll upgrade all these barns eventually. That's going to be more than enough right there. And then the guild hall should fit somewhere in the design over here. I think we have pretty much everything we need now. Oh, geez. Just, wow. Just 2 of them made all that. I don't think we're going to do preserved vegetables anymore. I think we're just going to do the fruits. A lot of glassware, though. They're going through. Make sure that this thing is flowing. Yeah, we got maximum sand coming, and we're gonna have to buy more sand for sure. Oh, of course. Literally nothing. We're running out of stone, too. Alright, we need to get the quarry up next, I think. We got a nice little spot over here. This is the problem, like, there's just so many competing things to do. The quarry, though, is right here. I need to put points into this. Iron ingot production. Quarry would be pretty amazing right now. I will say that the guilds would be pretty good too. We do need bookbinding though if we want to hit tier 5. But the problem with bookbinding is it takes a lot of pelts. So you just can't really win. Our main issue right now is that getting all 4 food types isn't going to be viable until we get, you know, a ton of cow. So we still have a little bit to do. It's probably not in our best interest to go that route. I think the quarry logically would be the best thing to do because it's something we can actually use right now. Oh, nice. Let's start selling boards again. And the wood is coming in strong. We're doing great. Yeah, there we go. We're doing wonderful. 280 last year. It's not crazy bad. Alright, this person's buying coal. Let's not sell all of our coal, though. It looks like we potentially need to put some back in. They're selling stone. Well, if we're going to get the quarry up, we don't necessarily need all of it yet. Alright, let's sell some shirts. Oh, we're about to get that statue up. Put that in the town. Get that statue up. That's going to get all these houses to tier 4 for sure. That's at least going to bring in some more money. Most importantly, what we need right now, though, are cow. So let's look for cows. Trader 3, have a cow? Oh, he doesn't. Let's get a little bit of willow going so we can keep our baskets going. Oh, wow, 750 booze. That's pretty impressive. Alright, well that means we can buy raw mats. I don't think any of these gents have anything really worth buying, though. Fortunately, they don't. This one doesn't have a whole lot of money or things that I need. We're going to go through bricks like crazy. I'm going to buy all their clay. What I love about having an economy, it's like I'm selling alcohol for clay. It's just like free materials in my mind. Get some more of these. We need to make sure we have baskets out the wazoo. Okay. I'm in a big chunk of change. Perfect. Okay. So, big statue up now. Look at that. Come over here and do desirability. Yeah, look at that. Hundreds. 83 on the sides. This one we haven't done properly yet. That's fine. All the way over here, though. Wow. 90%. 77%. Something's going on over here. They're just too far away. That's why we have these dead areas. So that you can get these guys up. That can all be remedied pretty easily. Oof. That takes bricks, though. We'll have to hold off on that. But, yeah, a lot of this can just be remedied by fixing the corners. 92, 92. Okay. Yeah, very easy. 89, 105, 92. Same thing over here. That's great. Well, we don't have to worry about that yet because we're not even at the point of tier 5 yet. We're very close to tier 5, but we're not right there yet. We do want to make sure we're upgrading these wells. I want a lot of water in the center area here if things catch on fire. Okay. Things are starting to look our way. Bringing in a lot of milk. Got 3 cow. Once I can get some more of those bad boys, we're going to be in good shape. Got everyone working together, bringing in lots of food. Made 136 pastries. Okay. Too many. We're going to bring this up to a 6-to-1 ratio. I want to see that in like the low 50s. We can bring it up when we need it. I actually like making the pastries and all this stuff. Because we need to figure out how much honey we need. Oh, I didn't even think about the honey needs. I really hate to do this, but you can spam these in a way that's somewhat effective, but not really. I've seen people layer them, but you get like 1 honey per. Yeah, that will work just fine. Oh yeah, look at that. This area over here is ripe. Gotta keep them near the farms. That should actually do fairly well right there. Yeah, the fruit, I forgot that the fruit trees give a massive bonus. Alright, that should do it. That should help us with the honey. Oh, we got our point. So, in order to get to the quarry, we're going to have to go the distance here. Unlock this. So 2 points here is going to let us get the blast furnace and the quarry. We could start mining gold and smelting gold. That would actually be a really smart thing to do since we have so much iron ore right now. And iron ingots. We don't really need too much of it. Let's see. Do have a boar spawn over here that we could start farming for pelts. Let's make sure we also have pelts. If we are going to do books in the future, we're going to need lots of pelts. This is probably the best way to do it with the hunters and the traps. Nice. Got our crypt up. That's going to help us. Could have sworn we had a gold thing. I may have built over it on accident. Got lots of sand. Yeah, we got another sand pit over here. Only 236. And that's what I mean, though. 8 people for 236 sand. That's not a whole lot. That's like maybe 1,500. And I can make that pretty easy off a lot of other stuff. It does look like we're going to need to increase our paper production just slightly. Alright, so we're at 600 pop with 357 fit to work. Oh my god. We got 250 kids. That's pretty insane. This is definitely the grow up phase. So essentially at this point, we've done it, right? We're at a point where we just need to let the game kind of play out. So, we're going to fast forward to the next stage of the game. And the next stage of the game is going to be quarries. It's going to be all that jazz. And it's just going to be waiting. This is probably going to be a 2 to 3 hour fast forward. Coming at you right now. Alright, look at that. We're back. So we actually got a little bit more done than I thought we were going to get. The mansions are up on a large segment of the build. You can see we're at 744. We're pulling in quite a bit from luxury taxes. Now that is due to spices and so on. So we need to be a little careful about overextending ourselves. Now we do have a little bit of negative over here from the iron mine. I think there was a glitch earlier in the series where the mines weren't counting. They definitely do still count. And we got the paper mill up. We just got the guild hall and we're going into miner bonus of 30%. I got some bookbinders going just to help with the luxuries. And yeah, just a whole lot going on. Upgrading massively, spending lots of money, making lots of money. So you do make a lot more money selling alcohol than you do in the pubs. What makes pubs nice though is that it is kind of a steady flow of coin. And, you know, it all adds up. It really does. So we've upgraded to a massive theater. It's super easy to get to tier 5 with this build. Now, one thing I did do is the raiders are stealing flour. So what I did is I made all the granaries in this area grain only, and I made 2 granaries over here for flour. This also helps the bakers because they have a shorter distance they have to walk in order to get everything over here. So all the flour is now stored here, and we have like something like 26,000 grain. It's rather absurd. I have 6 windmills going, trying to keep up with everything. We're using a 10-to-1 ratio on 3 pastry shops, and what's kind of impressive is our spoilage rates are almost nothing. We're producing and consuming vast quantities. We've been really hyper-focusing on the barns in the last couple of hours, so the large barn is now up, and we're producing lots of milk. I've been buying more cow. I'm just trying to get up to 20 here. The sooner the better. We'll start getting some pelts and meat off that. I've also been upgrading, and we're having a lot of villagers die from illness and, you know, old age, just as normal. But I've also been upgrading a lot of hunter lodges. So we're also harvesting boars now. I'm doing 2 of them in tandem. So we're just going to keep going. It's pretty sweet. I'm feeling pretty confident about the rest of this build. We have an immense amount of individuals, as you can see. Now, the big kicker now is getting the rest of the defenses up, but I will say that not a whole lot has been able to break through this. So it's been pretty interesting in that regard. Now, we did get the quarry up, and that's bringing about 200 stone a year. So I can start upgrading some other things. Now, what I want to do is get a deep core clay deposit, because we are running out. So we have a deep core for iron that we'll do eventually. Right now we don't need to because we have plenty of resources. I could do clay out of a further point, but quite honestly, I think we're just going to get up to deep core. And we just have a little bit of rot, not much. And most of the rot actually isn't coming from inefficiencies. It's coming because there's nowhere to place it. So if you see rot, it's not the design. It's the fact that I am full up. I really don't need any more. I have 26,000. So we're just feeding it to the cows, and that's going to be very helpful. This cheesemaker is going to be immensely powerful. 1,300 cheese last year. And I'm not selling the cheese currently because I'm trying to get everyone into nicer houses and some mansions. Mansions are pretty insane. 10 people per house. And with spices and books, we're doing really well. Okay, so we're going to unlock deep mines. 15% mining speed at deep mines is pretty sweet. Now we just got cheese. I've been kind of going up this route, meat and everything from these animals. We don't need grain crop yields, and we really don't even need drought protection right now. It's actually kind of crazy. But I do want to kind of go for the economic power monument for our final. I think that's what we're going to shoot for. And we're getting really close. Now, you don't necessarily need stone walls. And what's crazy is we're on Vanquisher. Back when I made this design originally, Vanquisher was a lot more difficult than it is now. So, unfortunately, you don't even need all this, which is awesome. But at a minimum, you do want to make sure that you have this middle section full up. And so, we're going to start getting this all done. And yeah, it's actually kind of crazy how little we actually need. But let's just do it, right? So let's get all this up. So we're only going to have 3 towers per corner. And down here, we're going to have double walls to separate everything. So we'll have 4 towers down here. 3 towers in the corner. 1 tower in the gap. And we'll come back through here with gates in a second. There we are. Getting all these gates in. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Okay, and there we go. And then we just need to get this area right over here. We're done. And that's what's powerful. We have around 200 kids that need to grow up, so they're going to be manning the stations here. Our luxuries are going down a little bit. We just need to keep that up for a tad. We're bringing in quite a bit of taxes, so that's wonderful. And then, of course, we want to get these areas down here up. So this is going to cost quite a bit of resources, but it's a good push. And this will fend off quite a few challenges. All right, and we're going to have one more great leap forward to the final build. We're going to put everything into stone. We're going to get our armies out. And hopefully I'm going to be able to show you how this thing handles one of the largest raids in the game. Now for our troops, we are going to really have to focus potentially on either pikemen or heavy infantry. A part of me is thinking that our biggest threat is going to be cav units and catapults. So I think pikemen would be a really good route for us. Just fill the two inner areas with pikemen. We have more than enough, arrows in all of this. We also want to start upgrading all of the lookout towers on the corners at a minimum. So stay tuned for the Great Leap Forward right now. Okay, here we go. We got ourselves a pretty decent raid of 141 raiders with some battering rams. So we're going to let them come at us with their full force, and we're going to see how this design does. Now, it's not even up to full power yet, but it will be soon. Here they come. Speed it up a bit. They do have some pikes. Pretty good. Anti-cav units around their battering ram. Pretty smart. And then we have another... yeah, we got two groups of people with some serious firepower. It'll be interesting. Can you come back later, sir? We're getting attacked. Okay, they're breaking through down here. That's fine. We haven't got the towers down here. We probably actually don't even need the towers down here, to be honest. A couple hunters that are looking to make a name for themselves. Once all these towers get up, it'll be even better. It's going to be crazy down here. Here we go. All right. We got our big towers going now. Now, realistically, what you would probably want to do is hold, like, this point here. You might lose some men, but if we keep them down here, you can see we're doing 3 points. If they get up here, we'll do 1 point on that battering ram. So if I can hold them here...
Your command will be done.
Looks like they have a mind of their own. If I can hold them here, we're going to be in a lot better shape. Now, most of these guys are going to die right now. But yeah, so we're basically holding them in, having our arrows come in and help us out. There we go. We pulled them off. I'm going to retreat these guys back now. So that actually worked really well. I think that's how you want to use your units, is just try to hold them in place so you can do the most amount of damage with these towers as possible. Now, they did have a little bit of fun down here. That's unfortunate. It's because we didn't have these towers up to protect them.
Yes?
But we will soon. That's the whole point. And it is working as intended, that the towers are holding them off. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Alright. All those guys are melted cheese now. Alright. And they're getting a little frisky down here. I don't like that, but it is what it is. Once we get the mid towers up, like I said, that won't be an issue anymore. Yeah, they're having a little too much fun down there. We need to get some towers up fast. They did make the game a little bit more ruthless, and that's kind of why you do need to think about your designs on Vanquisher mode. Okay, yeah, we just need to kill enough of them. This second wave did a lot of damage. There we go. We're killing them all. And we will regroup from this. It'll be fine. There we go. A little bit of damage. A couple dead people. They did get my statues. They love destroying expensive stuff. But that wasn't too bad. A little bit of death. So we're going to repair this, and what we're going to do now, start getting up all the towers, start getting up stone walls, start really building this out. Alright, jumping forward, quite a bit has been done. Inner area is stoned out. Everything is almost a full mansion. We do have 2 barracks, and we're working on getting this gent over here full of soldiers. We're getting pretty darn close. But we have an army coming at us right now. And they are bringing an insane amount of cav. This is actually going to be pretty ruthless. Cav is not to be trifled with. So we're still in the works of getting pike. I really like the way they're separating units now. That you can see they got their little banditos here. They got their anti-cav here. Then they got their massive cav here. Now they have 1 battering ram. So let's see how well we can do with our new defenses. Everything should be set up with 2 people in each one. Corner towers have been updated and upgraded, I should say. There we go. So these towers, they're always going to destroy. The point of these towers is just to get aggro off of the buildings. and onto the defensive structures. We have all these back towers now, which are going to help. But do keep in mind that an enemy needs to be hit. Oh, look. The 3 freaking hunters back here are taking on a whole army. That's actually funny. All right, here we go. So we've gotten a little bit of aggro off. Some houses are just going to get blown up. It's just the way it is with the system. That's why terraform builds are probably the best in the game. I know a lot of people don't like them. Now, there are terraforming mods, and I'm probably going to recommend most people who want to play on a higher difficulty, who don't want to deal with this kind of stuff, just use really good terraform builds. Now, we're doing 7 damage per shot. So here we go. Let's speed this up to ×3, though. There we go. Yeah, we're melting them. They did a little bit of damage, but this is a beautiful representation of the build. They haven't even gotten into the good show yet. They're going to steal probably some meat and some other things. But we're going to kill most of them. Alright. They've broken through. They're on the gates now. These are stone. And these areas up here are stone, so they're a lot harder to break into. That's why it's important that we're peppering while they're down here. Oof, there we go. Alright, a lot of units have buggered off. That was a big raid, too. 130. Alright, so now they're up here. Our soldiers are walking outside to fight. We're probably going to lose a few folk. They can also shoot. To let you know, they can shoot from inside here, so they're kind of cool to leave here. They really help when the units are at the gate, so let's speed this up a bit. But these stone walls are much stronger than wood, and without stone walls, you're pretty much going to get wrecked every time. But yeah, for the most part, the towers are holding up. They've destroyed 2 towers down here, a couple towers down here. Nothing that we can't repair. Alright, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we got this in the bag. Yeah, cav raids are really scary for that reason. But we just eviscerated them. That is a lot of dead horsies. Oh shit, and they're in the corner. When they get in the corner like that, you just have to let them beat it out. The walls will pull in, but this is the whole shebang, is that every time they destroy a tower or move in, they have even more things shooting at them. Makes it progressively hard to hit from any direction. Oof. Yeah, that's nasty. We just wiped out a whole bunch of them. They got a good lick on me, but that wasn't too bad. That was not too bad. So we'll rebuild a few things. Get ourselves back to where we were. But let's just do a little bit of a check-in. So yes, the majority of the base is now up. And primarily what I'm waiting on is just stone. So we were able to get everything up. And what's interesting, too, is that even though I have a negative from the mine, I did find the gold mine. It was right here. I'm still able to get mansions just by using ornamental trees. So, pretty funny. All right, we have this place is abandoned. So, just a few more ornamental trees to go. I like the ornamental trees, +3. And look how far they cover. They look nice, too. We'll get those bad boys up. And that will get us back into the tier 5. So we've done it. The build's probably going to push a little bit to 870-ish. Maybe 850-ish. Mostly everything is upgraded, so actually, yeah, we're pretty much there. We have books coming in, so a lot of the money we're getting is from the pub and luxury taxes. It says we were defeated, but I don't really necessarily agree with that. They didn't pillage anything. They only killed 6 people, and I killed 86 of them. Whatever. I mean... I kind of disagree with that, but whatever. Oh, they did destroy a granary. Whoop-de-doo. Whatever will I do? Okay. And it looks like I did not get the... That's weird. Alright, well, we'll get that settled right now. Gates there. Alright, we're doing great. So we're going to continue to upgrade all of this. We're just basically waiting on stone. I have infinite clay coming in now. 341, 210. These things still... do kind of suck, and technology-wise, been kind of difficult. Now, they are intentionally saying they didn't want you to be able to unlock everything. So you really do have to kind of focus on a gameplay style. In some respects, you almost want to stay away from certain things, potentially. But we went really high into production and very low into combat here, and high into defenses, getting arrow load. So I did get one over here. I was going to go all the way and get 15% in fortification, but what I'm trying to do now is unlock animal rearing, intensive animal farming, and get the economic power monument, and that will conclude the series. Now, you can see there's just an immense amount of tech points that, quite frankly, I'd have to spend maybe 200 or 300 years. And they're saying that that's the intended mechanic. And they're also saying they're still going to make it easier for people. And they're going to give someone an option to control the tech point accumulation. So you can make it take 200 years or you can make it 50 years to unlock everything, essentially, is what I'm getting at. And honestly, I get, you know, flailing yourself as a martyr and putting yourself up on the cross for the sake of playing on the hardest difficulty. But if you want to explore all that the game has to offer, I think that might be one setting that I lower. I typically play on the hardest difficult, like I play on everything on the hardest difficulty, but that might be one thing I do change, to be quite honest, because it's kind of silly. It's like, what's the point in sitting here for 30 hours to do something I can do in 2? Um, I do get it to an extent, though, that it does make the game a little bit easier, potentially. And they're also going to make it so that the Forger and Blacksmith are unlocked at Tier 2 and aren't on the tech tree anymore. So there's some good changes. I imagine 1.0 will change quite a bit, but this layout, it will stand the test of time. So we're going to get the rest of this inner area stoned. Now, these outer areas are never going to be stone. They're always going to be wood. There's really no reason to turn these into stone. Maybe the gates, if you want to protect it a bit, but you want them to, you do not want them to sit in here. You want them to get in as fast as possible, but at the same time, you want a little bit of stalling so that people can get in their houses and aren't caught out in the open. If you have nothing here, you have a bunch of people caught out in the open, and you can lose, 10, 20, 30 people really easy. So you want a barrier here, but you want them to get into the kill zone as fast as possible. So realistically, only this inner area is going to be stone. We got it going on. And there's lots of extra open areas in this design, as you can see. So you can put whatever kind of decorations. You can even put additional, like, candle makers, like anything you can think of. So we got 2 candle shops going. I actually have been selling an insane amount of candles, as you can see. We did spec into it on the research tree to have a bunch of candles. I'm not really selling spices right now. I'm just selling books, and books are really doing it for us. And then the pastries too. Pastries and books are giving us an insane amount of luxury taxes right now. So this is actually really, really good. And I'm just using a 10-to-1 ratio for bread to pastry. And that seems to be doing it. We're making a lot of pastries, 328. Now, I do have 1 cheesemaker for 3 barns. And we're at a point where it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of food, but we really do, if you look at our spoilage. So because I have food coming in progressively over the year, I'm not really too worried about people starving to death. And we're not trying to attract like immigration at all. So don't be afraid of having your food low. You can see that quite a bit is spoiling now, or increasing spoilage. Production decreased because of that war, I'm fairly certain. But yeah, so here's our agriculture, spoiled, imported, produced goods in the last 12 months, pelts, firewood, gold ingots, yeah, quite a bit. So we are manufacturing 100. So that's kind of a problem. I won't, yeah, money is still kind of a problem. And if you want to keep yourself full of cash, you're going to probably need to import spice. But I will say, you look at how much we're pulling in taxes, how much we're pulling in for the mansions and the manors. It's pretty good. And one thing that's kind of pissing me off is that I have to keep re-enabling policies. So like markets gain 30% additional. Super, super powerful. 20% production for negative 10% happiness. I mean, our happiness is through the roof. We're like 115%, right? So this is silly. It's just very silly. And now you can see we're way up there, 212. We're bringing in way more taxes. That's beautiful. Now, I'm at a stage where I just have buckets of cash. And as you upgrade more, you have less things to purchase. So you do get to a point where you could pretty much just do anything that you want. And that's the beauty of this game. It's wonderful. So, you've seen the defenses of it. You can try it out for yourself. This would work really well on normal mode without any elevation. It worked very easily. It's a very simple design that allows you to kind of have everything efficiently laid out. Now, can you do better? Absolutely. You could absolutely make something that's far more lethal than this, but you're going to want to use terrain like lakes and terraforming. And what this kind of shows you is that potentially organic builds are kind of the future. So what I'm kind of thinking about doing going forward is not focusing on full base layouts, but focusing on housing layouts so that you can officially incorporate into an organic design. So we're going to fast forward to the completion of this build, and that will be the end of the series. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the glory. All right, we did it. Look how beautiful this is. Everything went along pretty swimmingly. So one thing I will say that I changed is I went back to archers on my barracks, and that is simply because it is a lot easier to take out catapults with archers than melee units. What you do is you basically sneak your archers around any way you can, and then come up from behind this area here, or this area over here, and you take out their catapults. Most of the men will charge in this region here, and the catapults stay back here, with a group of around 12 people per catapult, and they're very easy to take out with your archers. So just these two barracks of archers have been able to take out the catas for me. Now we got everything up. We're all stone walled. It's pretty hard to break in here. Pretty darn defended. We got plenty of food. We're almost 4 shy of 900 population on this build. And we just got our last point for the economic power monument. Ba-boom. So now we are going to try and build this bad boy. And I don't know how big it is. Okay, cool. It's about the same size as the guild hall. So we're going to build this right here. 15,000. We got that. 625 bricks. Got that. 300 boards. We got that. Wow, we got it all. So yes, I do have, in fact, an insane amount of money. We were smelting gold. That is bringing in a lot. Luxury taxes are bringing in insane amounts. And if you check out my trading center, you see I have another 18 grand in there. So the vault here is getting pretty Scrooge McDuck full. And we're going to put every single person on this as we can. But we got it all out. Honestly, 3 apiaries and 3 large barns worked perfectly together. This is an insane synergy here. You got your farming. You got all your stuff all in a neat little area. This is producing all the food for this massive city. It's pretty dialed in there. And we're also selling candles, like I said earlier. So honey and all that, pretty easy to get. All I did was just space them out like so. And I'm bringing in 7 honey and 3 wax. Looks like about on average, right? Yeah, 7 and 4, 9 and 4, 9 and 4. The ones that have a couple of people circling into them have just a little bit of a honey loss, but you can actually tech into getting more honey, I'm pretty sure. And I haven't even teched into that. So we're doing just fine. Not only are we producing, a lot of alcohol, but yeah, just a lot. 600 alcohol. Probably been one of the better trade builds I've had in quite some time. And our gents down here are pulling in 588, 709, 926, several thousand. We're producing lots of preserves. We have 3 upgraded bakeries that are just bringing in massive amounts. 1,400 bread, 408 pastries. More than I know what to do with. I will say you're going to need quite a bit of windmills if you want to make a bread empire work. Typically, you can get close to 900, so there's a bit of an inefficiency going on here. Working 76%, transferring goods, basic needs. I mean, we're doing well enough. Basic needs seems to be a big issue. That's one of the problems, and it's why I try to minimize how many houses I have per market. But I do still find that this is doing a good job. Only having 16 houses per seems to do pretty decent. All right, look at that. 91 bricks, 97 planks. Let's get this going. Moment of truth. All right, look at that. That's actually pretty cool. I like the building. Here we are. Boom. Oh, wow, that is cool. Year 97. We almost made it 100 years. Highest pop, 896. Total buildings constructed, 462. Goods produced, 208. Oh, my God, 2,189,000. 39,000 was gold. Raiders killed 1,041. And let's continue. Let's look at this glorious. But that's how you beat the game. Wow. Storage buildings and vaults gain additional storage capacity. Merchants have deeper purses and occasionally arrive with special requests for premium payouts. That is cool. That's actually really cool. And what's the increase on this? Whoa, 5,000 per warehouse? Holy shit. That's nuts. Very good. What about our upgraded root cellars? Nope, still 25. Okay. So that's pretty interesting. And vault. So what's the vault door now? 125,000 in the vault now? Oh my god. That's crazy. I think it was 25,000 before, so that's pretty cool. So you can see that getting these monuments up is actually a pretty big deal. I did have to get a lot of different technologies to get there. So region of culture, who knows what that does? I'll have to do a whole nother gameplay for that. Military monument. So that's cool. Very cool. We got a lot of good technologies. Pretty heavy on the farming for the economic power here. Now, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and you can continue to play. But as you can see, it's going to take quite a bit of time to unlock everything because even with perfect knowledge and everything, it's taking about 2 years per knowledge point at this stage of the game. So we're in year 97. And I say we go to year 100. We got to go to 100 years, right? That's a good way to end the build. Oh my god, 848 per turn. All right. That's a bit extreme. And I'll show you my stocks. So we have a lot in story here. 10, yeah, ooh, 6 more people. Why not? Yeah, 1,000 wax. Oof, that's bad. 1,000 wax. We can start throwing wax on the floor. Wax doesn't weigh too much, so that's pretty good. More pelts than we know what to do with, to be quite honest. Boards, firewood, everything is in mass. It's actually pretty impressive how many resources we're producing. And I did get 2 quarries going because I just really needed that stone. So we're pulling in a lot of stone. What's kind of great is we've effectively beaten the game. The only thing we could really do is go down the combat. And the problem with this, though, is that we're going to need to unlock some of these things in the tech tree. And so you really do kind of have to plot this all out and take a loss. But I feel like this was a good way to go. We, put in just a few points and we really got quite a bit. Archers can... Okay, so I have to get this for archers to be able to equip medium armor. And if you want to have cav and all that jazz, you're going to have to go up this way. Barracks can be upgraded to a fort. That's pretty close, but we got to unlock everything here for that. I did get border policies, 15% immigration. That's pretty useful. But it looks like you could realistically, you kind of have to gravitate towards one major play style. This over here does not have a wonder. So this over here is just basic unlocks and production. That's okay. I kind of feel like it's a bit silly. It should have another wonder for that. Looks a little out of place. A couple villagers dying from disease. Alright, 13 kids just grew up. We have a very impressive workforce. 143 free laborers, 90 guards, 24 soldiers. Insane spoilage. Thousands of beans spoiling. 47 beans rotted. Oof. A travesty. Yeah, I like this setup quite a bit. The cows just line up so well with all of the trees. And then you have these small little spots that you can place apiaries to get a good bonus. You can see here we're getting a lot of honey. May need to increase candle production again. You saw how much wax we had. I already have... I mean, you sell quite a bit of candles. So it's not a bad idea, honestly, to continue just to push candle making. You can throw it anywhere, really. Look at that. That's beautiful. I do want to see a merchant to see how big their purses are now. Not really even sure what you would do with the money outside of buying spices. And yeah, we went with, of course, tribute to the fallen kings. Luxury goods last 20% longer. Gildar's coin purse, negative 20% soldier upkeep. And I have the hunter bows, crossbows, and towers. Deal 15% more damage. This is really helping us out, especially the luxury one. It gives you a lot. It's 20% items that you are not using, which means you can sell them. It's pretty darn awesome. And we have more than we know what to do with, and this really helps you push your builds. I have more cheese than I know what to do with. Everybody's very happy. Alright, here we go. We got a trader. Oh, he was in and out. He's glitching out. He has 5,000, though, I could see. Of course, I finally get a trader. He's glitching out, and he has a premium. Oh, my God. We gotta try to catch it. We gotta try to catch it. Oh, I caught it, but it still went away. That sucks. Infinitely screwed. Alright, we got another dude. Okay, this guy didn't run away. The special trader, though, is glitched out for some reason, but he had 5,000, and that's a lot. And it looks like he's buying one good at premium, and I couldn't tell what it was. Man, we got a lot of shirts for sale. That's amazing. A lot of candles. I know we just keep pumping out candles. Oh, mine's out of ore. There goes our iron mine. Okay, that's good timing. We can get rid of this brickyard here. And what's funny is I'm still able to get level 5 even with the mines all around these houses. That's how high our desirability is in this build. We'll get the infinite iron mine up over here. We could probably skip one of the quarries, though I don't know what all these people are going to do. I just have a bunch of, like, people without jobs. The only thing you can really do is just make more, but we've already maxed out everything. Swords, tools, like we're keeping up with everything. I did finally get the furniture shop up. Furniture shop back up. I kind of reorganized this whole area and just shoved it full of stuff. Yeah, so we're making a little bit of furniture. So that's why our luxury taxes are doing so well. Sell some of these shirts. I don't even know what to do with my money now. My FPS isn't doing too hot, though. It's around 38. I do have a 4090, so... But that's at ×5 mode. You know, if I go down to ×1, it's back up to 58, 50-ish. 60. Okay, yeah, we're back up to 60s now. That's not bad. It does seem like they did some optimization. I know it's pretty CPU intensive, so I should actually reference my CPU of a 14900 Intel i9. So, yeah, it's pretty powerful. Should do the trick. Ugh. Yeah, I really wish this guy would work. 5,000. Oh, it's he's buying preserves. That's what he's buying. I'm not selling preserves. Though you probably actually could make a pretty penny selling reserves when you look at the glassware and the fruit costs. I mean, the fruit's going to expire anyway, right? So we might as well make some money off of it. We got ourselves a live one. 89. Oop, they're breaching the walls already. They're over here just having a good old time on our dollar. Okay, they're going to break in. We're going to kill everybody. It's going to be a good time for all, except for them, of course. Let's move our archers outside. I do think archers are probably the best unit, simply because you don't have to die to use them. You just sit in the back and shoot everybody. It's beautiful. Oh, well, except for here. So yeah, we're going to have them come down here and just start mobbing out everybody. They're also really good in conjunction with your towers because they work really well. You can see, we just cleaned up shop. So we killed everyone there. Oh, we got another band coming in. All right, so these gents are already hitting the wall. So you can see that the second tier of defense usually is actually enough to take out these low tiers. And then all the good loot and all the important stuff is guarded up here. And then our archers down here are just going to start killing everybody. So let's get that show going. There we go. Come on. Start the slaughter. Yeah, we'll pick them off the side. This is why I like archers, is you can just roam down the sides and just start, you know, murking everybody. We do make sure that we're killing people, though, because they'll start breaking stuff and trying to steal stuff. But again, that's why I store the flour here and not down here. If you store the flour down here, they'll hit it and quit it, basically. They just loot and rob, and I don't want them to take my stuff. I want my stuff in case I need it. All right, there we go. All right, yeah, we're all... There's like a few dudes running around causing a ruckus, but that's about it. I retreat everyone back. Pretty much everyone up here is gone. Unring the bell. I'm not too worried. There's only 10 left. We killed one garden and about 3 or 4 gates. Not bad. Oof, we're getting some nice little lag spikes now, though. I think we're getting a big disease wave coming in right now. That's what's happening. Alright, the villagers finally decided to go away. There we go. The disease is getting under control. Oh, it looks like we did make it to 900 pop, too. I'm glad we went the distance there. Pretty awesome. Alright, we got one more point. I'm trying to think where I want to put it. I think negating some diseases might be smart. Get the festering wounds, healer's hut upgrade. Probably where I'd put it now at this stage. That glitched trader seems to just be stuck there indefinitely. That's actually kind of funny. I bet you if I move this, it will get rid of it. We're going to try moving the trade post. I think it's actually what's causing the frame rate drop. All right, look at that. 900 at a 900 population. We replaced the trading center. Looks like it did, in fact, unglitch the guy that was stuck in there. Got our nice little farmers down here. Yeah, things are good. Everything is holding up. I don't see any issues with the build. All right, so replacing it worked. So now you can see that we can buy these at a, or sorry, sell these at a premium. If we had pottery, that's a really good premium on pottery. He has 3,100. He has no raw resources that I want to purchase. Paper might be a good one, but I think we're okay. Sell this gent some soap. Just keep stashing our money endlessly. Why does it say woodwork? Oh, it went back to woodworking after I changed everything. That's weird. I moved it and it defaulted from mining to woodworking. Well, that sucks. The whole time I thought I was getting all that good stuff. Yay. 3. Alright. Yeah, we're in good shape. Thousands of stone. Can repair everything. Year 99. Almost at 100 years. Things are looking great. We do have some individuals dying from illness and or just old age. There's a lot of old people here. Take a look. Yeah, 60 elderly. That's quite a bit. Oh, nice. Stack of candles. What's disgusting is I don't even need this stuff. I don't have a need for any of this. In fact, I have more resources than I know what to do with. I just want it. Pelts are actually really, really easy to get once you get your barns going and you have your hunters out there. We're bringing in 38 pelts per large barn. 57. Holy cow. 38. I'd say like an even 40 per large barn is a safe assumption. And that's more than enough to do bookbinding. They nerfed it in a previous patch, but it looks like they brought back cows. I mean, yikes. Let's look at all this. Like, what are we getting out of this? 930, almost 1,000 meat, 1,000 milk, 57 pelts. That's crazy. Let's go back up here. Yeah, 1,000. It's like 2. That's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous amount of food. And we're sorry. We're smoking a ton of this meat. So it's in the cheese. So you're talking about a food that lasts many, many years. But we're eating it very quickly. So if we look at spoilage, we do actually need to probably get one more smoker up. Most of it's veggies. Barely any fruit is spoiling. A smidge of dairy. A smidge. Not enough to warrant me getting another cheesemaker up, in my opinion. Alright, I'm going to sell this big load of cheese. 2 grand. Let's buy some barrels. I know I'm making barrels, but I don't know what else to do with this money. I mean, we could buy a bunch of halberds. 10 grand worth. Why not? We have 1,000 cheese. Wow. No, it's kind of crooked. I don't know what happened during construction, but we got a little bit of a lean going on here. I don't think that's good. It's perfectly flat. I don't know what happened. Breaking. Okay, get this straight, please. It's bothering me tremendously. We need to get our guys to get this upright. Well, unfortunately, it is permanently crooked. I could easily change it by moving it. We move it, it will get straight again. We're gonna move it just once. All right, there we go. It's straight, and we're pulling in right now to year 100. We did it. 100 years of glory. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching. Special shout out to my members and patrons. Thank you guys for your support. As to everyone else, hope you enjoyed the build. It was quite the experience. Don't know if I want to do that again. This actually took quite a bit of time. Have a good one.